We should be live in a minute. See, when you go to YouTube now, the room is not filled. We want the room to fill, and to be filled, then we go to YouTube, right? We should do that tomorrow. Everybody's going to go till then we go to YouTube, right? We should. Okay, we're live on YouTube. Okay, guys, good morning to those of you who just joined us on YouTube. I'm glad to see all of you again here today and hope we can see more people in the room tomorrow. I want the room to be packed and then everybody else should go live on YouTube. If you get in the room, you have an advantage in that you can ask me a question, right? And you might get your question answered because the questions that I answer are very random, right? When I raise my head, pick up whichever first question I see and answer, right? I just cannot answer them all. So hopefully we're going to keep it very clean, very nice, and very smooth today. I don't want too much noise in the room. So avoid chatting a lot. I will leave that space in the middle and at the end for for questions. No need to rush. Nothing has happened that you have to run away from or be hurry about, right? Let's start. As usual, we'll start with the account, what trades we took, what trades we were in, what happened to those trades, and what we're doing. So I was in the silver trade. If you notice, I'm still in the silver trade a little upside down, but I actually closed the first trade yesterday. I closed it this morning, actually. I'll show you why I closed it. I closed it for a small profit, and I bought back again. So let's start with that one. Why did I close silver, and why did I buy it back? So let's go to silver. So it actually dropped really fast yesterday. I didn't get a chance to close it. I was going to close it when it break this top, but it didn't do that. It fell very fast. And you can see the pattern we looked at. So once I saw this consolidation this morning, I knew we were going to get one more down. So I took off the trade somewhere in here for a very small profit. You saw that. And anywhere in here would have been my buy zone. Between this and this, that's my buy zone. So once it broke the low, I'm in the trade from somewhere here. It doesn't matter to me where in that area I'm buying because that's where I think it should turn, somewhere in there, right? So I'm expecting this to go back up. But again, if you look at the bigger pattern that we're looking at, once we come to this area here, you see we broke this low. So once we come anywhere in here, there's a chance they're going to make one more low before they go, right? That is the pattern we're looking at. Remember, this can be guesswork. You've been following me for a whole week and you see we show you all these move up and down. And I told you when they get to the top, they're likely going to come back, retest the lows, go back up, come back down. And it works, right? It works like magic. You're literally saying, how the hell he does that, right? It's simply because we've seen hundreds of these patterns before, thousands of them. And we know how they behave. They behave literally the same way, right? You ever trying to see actually, why I'm bringing this analogy, because I saw it 2 days ago. Somebody for the first time, a grown-up person for the first time seeing an escalator and trying to get on it, almost fell down, right? Jumping on, jumping off, all kind of stuff. You walk in an escalator, it doesn't bother you, right? You just walk straight on and you don't even look. You just keep moving, right? To you, it's automatic. To them, that's a stressful thing to get on that thing. Literally, the lady nearly fell off. I had to hold her back, right? So just that little analogy, when you do something and you know to do it, it's normal, it's automatic. You kind of see it, you understand it. When you're doing it for the first time, you've never done it in your life, and especially if you're more grown, now you're going to change all your whole thought process to do this. It's difficult. If a simple thing like that is difficult, just imagine how difficult trading is for some of you, right? When you're starting this for the first time. So again, I would repeat, don't buy anything until you have at least 1 year experience. Don't do anything until you have learn all the free stuff you can learn for the first year. By then, you will be knowledgeable enough to make a decision whether you still want to be a trader or not. So you know what we did with this, and I'm expecting it to go up. So this, hopefully by Friday, we can get this trade, and that would be really nice because this will be the first real good trade we get. The rest of them are just more, I would call them break-even trade. 1,000 is a break-even trade for me. That's a break-even trade. That didn't go. So hopefully this one go. Good, let's go. There's another trade you can see. By the way, all the trades I had yesterday, the euro trade I closed. Let's go. You can't see it because it's closed already. I closed the euro for profit. The euro I managed to close the euro very nice. I closed the euro here right at this level, and then it started to go back up. I'm in the sell here again. I'm a little upside down. We're going to look at that. You can see I'm in the sell again on the euro. It's just 39. That's the 39 is nothing. 30. Oh, again, they merge my trade. Why the hell they're merging it without me telling them to merge it? See, they merged the two trades. I don't know why. Anyway, this trade is back. It was a little positive. It's back to normal. Don't worry with that. Let me see. I think I should be able to show you the history and those trades. If you open them, you should probably see them, right? This one is not the one I'm looking for. Let's go back. Oh, nope, wrong one. Let me just move this out now. I think I actually closed it. I'm gonna have to open back the account. Oh, no, it's okay. I just want to make sure I didn't close the account and open back it. I have to open back it. So let's go. I think you have to look at select account for a period, select the trades for a period. Somewhere here, we'll figure it out. Not that important. Let's not hold back the webinar, right? So you have the idea. I close that one and I resell it today. Allow the consolidation. As you can see, we started with 560. Actually, we were 557 because we were in a drawdown. You can see that. You should be able to see that when you go here under account, but not under this. When you go under performance, you should be able to see it here. Yeah, we started here with 557 and we are here at 564, right? You can see that is where we started Monday, the 10th. Monday we started here, we were there and we gone up, right? So you can actually see that part there. Those are the trades that were booked. The euro trade was a profit. The euro trade was closed for profit. The New Zealand trade I closed for profit. I actually closed it before that correction start. I closed this a little earlier. I closed this somewhere here. Then it went down a little, went back. That's okay. I totally missed this one to the downside. I'll tell you why, because I thought this was going to stop somewhere here and go back up. I didn't think it was going to go so deep. So I didn't take the trade. All right. I saw it. We saw that, but I didn't take it. I should have, well, should have is not a good thing to say. Let it go. Forget about it. Let's go. The next one we were also in Aussie. We were in the, I think the euro, the New Zealand, and one more trade we were in, if I can remember. Whichever trade we were in. Right? Anybody remember what was the other trade we were in? Somebody type it, please. Punkad. Yeah, Punkad also. Punkad I closed a little early. Thank you. Punkad I closed a little early. Because of the I expect that there's going to be that volatility coming from the pound and the voting. So I decided I'm not going to take the risk of keeping it. And I closed it somewhere here, actually, which is not good because I could have actually waited the next 3 hours, wait right up into the voting and then close. I would have still closed it before, right? So I could have actually got someone, maybe I would have closed it somewhere here. But anyway, I didn't take the chance and I think that's the right thing to do. You don't want to take a chance at that time. We might get another sell opportunity here. It might be a short-term sell opportunity if they come, because there's a likelihood. You see this little one here? See that little short-term there? So they might drop here and go right back up before they come. So we might end up with something like this. So let's see. That is an if one today. We're going to keep our eyes on it. And if it happens, we're going to take it. Silver is a good buy. That's why I bought it here. Remember? So now is the time to put out the disclaimer. Now that I said silver is a buy, so let me put out the disclaimer so all of you would be aware of it. You have 2 minutes to read it. I can tell you in short what it says while you're reading it is that blah, blah, blah. Don't listen to me. Don't take my advice. Go get your professional advice from wherever you're going to get it. I'm not giving you any professional advice here. I'm just showing you what I normally do. Basically, all the blah, blah, blah is you are looking at me as a show. I'm showing you what I do. It's not a trade service. It's not a trade call. It's not anything like that. So if you take any trade, you're taking it at your own risk. Don't blame me for it, right? I'm taking my trades and I'm just showing you how I take my trades. Good, I think everybody read that already. Let's move on. I don't know why they have that disclaimer. Stupid people are not supposed to trade, right? You ought to be smart to be a trader, which means you should know that you're taking your own risk. I think that's just logical. It's your money in your pocket. You should know it's your risk. I don't know why a disclaimer is needed for that, but hey, it's needed, so I'll put it, right? So look at this. We might get that. That trade is closed also for profit, short-term profit, good. And with those that I booked, we made 4,000. That's not much. That's very little. So let's go. Let's go back to the account. And now we are in, I took this trade and closed it this morning. That is the yen trade. That one is taken and closed for 3,000. That one was a short-term trade because nothing else was happening. And I saw it and I was like, okay, I may as well do something because nothing is happening. So that trade, I took it from here. You can actually see it. I think all of you can see it. I took it from here and I closed it right here. Why did I close it there? Because we were expecting a sell setup. And the long-term trade here is a sell setup. I'm expecting this to happen. I'm expecting this to come here and then go back up. That is the trade. So this will be a trade. If it happens today, we will be going for it, right? We'll be going for this trade. If that happens, we'll be going for the trade. The CAD-yen trade, I had an order on the CAD-yen. I closed the order. Let's go to the CAD-yen, or two orders we had. We had an order on the CAD-yen I didn't get tagged in it, but because of the change of structure, we closed it, right? We had an entry order there yesterday that didn't tag me, and because of the change of this structure, I took off the order, right? I think you can see the order was, I don't know if it's going to show up. Oh, it's not showing up. Can we show the pass? I think I can show the orders that were closed. No, you can't show it. So I closed all the orders, the Canadian and the New Zealandian, because I don't, this is not going the way I want. I wanted this to actually consolidate here and take off. The mere fact that they came lower and they're going like this, I think we will probably get 1, 2, 3 here, come back somewhere here, and then go. We will look back at this for a buy setup. It's still good buy. It still is a good buy setup, but we will have to relook at the structure. This is not the structure I want to buy in. And same for the New Zealandian. Remember, I told you there are two options the way the New Zealandian is going to behave. If this is a running flat, they will take off like a rocket. It's not a running flat, which means that somewhere here we've got a smaller degree correction, and that's the end of the structure, right? I think that the correction would most likely be this piece here, because and we might get a smaller degree one in here. So I'll be looking at a 1, 2, 3, and now we are coming down. This downside is correction. We're still looking for that buy, which means that move to the downside is a correction on the bigger picture, right? You have seen those corrections before. Let me show you what they look like, just in case you're seeing one for the first time. Let's go to where there's a big up move. All this is correction downwards, like big up move like this, see? You make a move up, you correct, you make a move up, you correct, and then you look at the whole thing, you realize you got a big one, and then you start buying, right? So right now we're making one of those type of corrections there. So it's just a correction, nothing to worry. It's going to probably come down a little. I hope they come down somewhere like this. Then we get a trade up, and we'll watch for another one. And then we go, not necessarily running flat, but very likely it's going to be running flat. This thing likes the big running flat. So we were still looking for the buy. That has not changed. Take out the entry order because we're not going to be buying from the top there anymore, right? Structurally, that's not where I want to buy. Let's go. Okay, position. Sorry, yeah. So we have got that. This trade is closed in profit. Silver is already coming back. Oh, they finally give me back again, right? So we're coming back to zero. Euro trade I took also. I posed that one. I took the Euro trade. It's not going so good. Excuse me. The reason I took it because remember Euro has a long-term position. So let's go a little bit of details into Euro. What happened to Euro yesterday? And I think I actually mentioned this. You should go back, find that spot in the webinar, and keep that piece of recording. Remember, we had an entry order in Euro here, right? All of you remember that was a little lower like this. And we were a little in profit, and then it started to go up, and everybody was worried. And I said, don't worry about that. One move to the upside is nothing. And I remember saying this. Just imagine if it comes here. Just imagine if you close the trade here now. I told you that, right? If you close the trade here and it goes there, you're going to be pretty happy. But what if after that it actually fell? That was exactly what I said yesterday, right? Go back, look at that piece, and that's exactly what I said. What if it just falls suddenly from there? What is going to happen to you, right? I think a lot of you are like, what the hell did that happen there just now, right? That's exactly what happened because it happens over and over and over in the market. So when that happened, I realized here is where I need to close my trade because we're going to go into correction. I thought the correction will come here, actually. They came down. Now we're repeating the same thing here. Should we close the trade here now because we're a little upside down? No. This trade should be closed only if it breaks this top. I'm not going to the reason why. That is when you should close the trade. That's where your risk should be calculated, right? If it doesn't, then here's what we're going to do. We're going to watch this trade. If I don't like the way it's going, if we start to see some kind of a flag here for upside, we will close the trade. So I'll show you when, where, and how I do it. I've been doing that the whole week, right? I'm an open book. By the way, where is my troll? There was one of them. I missed him. Right. Let's go. I think he'll come back. Yeah. So watch this. Watch this trade here, right? When this consolidate, only then we're going to decide what to do. As of now, it's just going up. Let it go. They did the trick yesterday, right? They didn't catch us. Why should we take the trick today? Now, if they're going to go up, we know how they're going to go up and what they're going to do, and then we're going to exit the trade. Great. So let's go. The next one. I think after that, we didn't have any more trades. Euro and the pound Swiss. I lost one pound Swiss trade yesterday, and it looks like this one is trying to mess with me again. Me and this pound Swiss, we'll have this pound Swiss and I will have to figure out something how to work together, right? It's not working with me. So I took it somewhere here yesterday and I closed it somewhere there. I think that was a $2,000 trade. Expensive for that small piece. The same thing, I took it here and I'm right here again. That's a $2,000 loss. But if it drops here, it should give me about $4,000, $5,000. And that is the trade I'm looking for. It's a pity I didn't have the patience yesterday. So today, I have more patience today because there's more reason to keep it today. Yesterday, there wasn't so much reason to keep it based on everything that I look for in the chart, including patterns. Today, there is much more reason to keep it. So today, I'm going to be more patient and I'll wait for that fall and then we'll close the trade, right? I hope it falls while we're in here. Any trade setup for oil, will come to that. We have a way. For everybody, what you guys should do is hold the trade setup that you have for later when I ask for them, right? I'm trying to go through step by step how I, so you guys understand what I do and how I do. So hold it for a little later. Basically, we have covered everything here now, right? So we're at 64, which means we're 250 drawdown. That is, we made 3,000 and we're in 3,000. We're balanced, basically. I know silver is going to go up, so I'm not worried about this here. Not at all. I think I should be able to manage this to break even. That's the worst case. In anything, I'll take a $2,000, $3,000, maybe a $4,000 loss on it. That's the Swiss, right? And the euro will just decide on the euro a little later. So now let's go look for trades. We're in these trades and let's go look for trades. That's all. Pound Swiss, let's go. We'll leave that. If that breaks, by the way, it might be a good opportunity for a sell. If you're not like me in it already, right? So let's see. What happened to New Zealand USD? Where were you 5 minutes ago? That was what I was talking about, New Zealand and Euro and all of them. I even said when I closed it. So let's go. We're not going to repeat that. Swiss setup, yes. The Swiss broke. Swiss broke. This yesterday, those of you who got that, wonderful. Remember, I said when it comes to this line, you got to be careful. So if you were there, I hope you took off the trade because now we have this pattern. The line itself, the mere fact that it broke that big line is insignificant. You would hear me say that quite a lot. We're at this stage. And because of the patterns we're looking at in this thing, it is still going to go up. But because of the patterns we're looking at, this breakout is too small. I want this to come here, make a 4-hour consolidation like this, and then I'm interested in this thing to the upside. So I was interested, some of my traders from here, some of them from here, and some of them took a little piece of this. You should really move your stop very tight if you're in the trade. Because it's not a fact that this is going to go. It could come back all the way. Based on what we see, it could come back all the way here and then go. So you want to be careful if you are with that trade. You really, really, really want to be careful. Because it could go right down back to the low and then go back up. Don't ask me why. Let's go. What else we're looking at? So still, we're not going to touch this today. We're not going to look for a buyer or a seller or anything in this today. Yen, we want the sell in the yen. So we're going to look for the sell in the yen today. But that is the one hour. And if this goes down some more and make a flag in here, we'll sell it, right? If it consolidates there again, we'll probably get one more buy and then we're going to get the sell. I don't think they're going to go pretty high. I think they're ready for the downside now, right? So we're going to see. 1 second, guys. Let me just mute myself. Oh, sorry about that. Let's go. Aussie, New Zealand, I see somebody type. We want the Aussie, New Zealand trade. Let's go look at it, see if it broke. Right, so Aussie, New Zealand, if you're in the trade from anywhere here, that's good. I would tell you move your stop very tight. We looked at this in our trading room yesterday, and there is a very, very high probability based on what I see. We're going to come right back here, and then we're going to take off. So we're going to have something like this. All right, so if you're in the trade already, good, just move your stops. Don't come out. If you're not in the trade and you want to get in, wait for a consolidation here. Because if we don't get a consolidation there, you might be surprised it comes all the way back here and then up. If you ask me, my personal experience, they're very, very likely. I'll put an 80% chance they're coming back down before they go. Well, we have seen how these patterns behave quite often. Not necessarily that this one has to do that because this one has enough of a correction. But based on a specific pattern that I'm looking at, that I've seen pretty often, there's a good chance they're going to come back, retest the low, then go. So just keep your eyes open for that, right? Let's go. What else we're looking at? Oil, somebody's keeps saying oil. Let's go see what is on the oil. I don't trade this. Okay, good. By the way, my traders, if you took the sell earlier, I told you about that this morning. But watch it to break. I think this is going to come down one more. We spoke about this one. They're going to go up. They're consolidating. They're going to drop, and then you can look for upside. So there might be a nice short sell here if anybody is interested. Don't jump into it right now. That's not how you sell. You have a strategy how you're going to go into that thing, right? So the strategy was taking the sell from that break there. Now that that break is gone, you have to wait for this. I'll take this off. You have to wait for this to correct. Make a small correction, and then we would look for it. Don't ask me what correction and how the correction should look like and where it's going to go and how it's going to happen. When it happens, we'll show you, right? Until then, you're not supposed to sell it. If you sell it, you can get yourself in trouble. Euro Swiss. Euro Swiss is a good sell setup. We took it once. I think we took off some small profit out of it. That was one of the first trades we took. Euro Swiss, let's go back to it. I'm still interested in it. Good. So actually, it's a very nice setup right now. If we just need it to break. We just need that to break. Let it break, and then we will go first for this trade. We'll make an attempt at this small trade here. And if we're lucky, it becomes a much bigger trade to the downside. Right? So first we're going to go for a small trade, and then we're going to look for it. Let me see Peng Yen. No, Peng Yen doesn't have anything right now. It might be a short-term downside, but that could be corrective. So let me just show you. Peng Yen might have a very short-term trade to the downside, which is you're talking about something like this, coming back probably slightly to this level. And then you could be looking at an upside. So not interested in the Peng Yen, right? That doesn't have a trade that I'm interested in. Let it do what it's doing, and then we'll come back to it. Euro Oz. Euro Oz, perfect. We're waiting for the sell setup. We actually look at both of that in our trading room this morning, the Euro Oz and the Euro Zealand. We spoke about it in the room, and it immediately went. So I think right now all of you would know what I'm talking about. We're looking at something, a possibility like this. If you're looking for a buy, you're not looking at the chart correctly, right? So I don't think this is going to be a buy. No, there are chances when this thing does make something like this, right? Go back up there, then come, making it an expanding path. If we see that, we will take the one buy. That is going to be a small move to the upside. That's going to be a very, very small buy to the upside. And then we're looking for a downside. This is going to be a downside. Don't ask me why. It doesn't matter where it goes. It's going to come back down once more. Right? That pattern is absolutely clear to us. We've seen it many times. We know how it behaves. The same thing we're looking for. So I'll just leave this here. That doesn't mean it's going to stop there. Don't take it. Hey, your line was there. It didn't stop at the line. It's going up. That's not the point. Same thing with the Euro New Zealand. You can see the line I have here, right? And the same thing we're looking for. We're looking at this pattern. This would most likely be like an expanding flat because it broke the top. So we're looking for something like this and the downside. Right? So I'm not expecting these to go up more. And that means anywhere here that I see a sell setup, I'll take it. But if it consolidates long, for a buy, it will take you not today, not tomorrow, maybe till next week. If this has to give me a buy setup, that's next week, not this week. So I'm not interested in a buy here. I'm only interested in the sell if I get it, right? So do we have a sell setup? Nope, we don't have anything. You have two candles. That's not a setup, right? Silver is going up back. I love silver. It works good. It's like a magic, you can see it going up right back. It just works like magic. You can just trade silver alone if you have patience. Nothing else. It works like magic. Let's go. What else we're looking at? We're looking at, let me see. Peng is a short-term trade. Peng has to consolidate some more, then we might consider the buy, short-term buy in Peng. I don't like the euro anymore. Let me take a look at the euro because I don't like what it's doing. I think they may be turning from this point. They may be turning to go back for a deeper consolidation. There's a good chance, but we'll just ignore it for now. It doesn't have anything in it to worry about. We'll just ignore it for now. I was looking at the internal structures in the lower time frame. That doesn't show me anything. So just ignore that for now. Let's go. Any ideas on CAD yen? No, don't do anything in CAD yen now. There isn't a setup, right? CAD yen is still going to go up, but it's probably going to get into a bigger, more complex corrective structure before it goes. In that complex corrective structure, there might be short-term sell setups, but if you're inexperienced with patterns, that short-term sell setup might be a disaster for you, right? So I'm on the CAD, no, I'm on the CAD dollar. See, this broke the top, come back. Let me, by the way, I want to talk about a CAD trade, not this one, but this one. Remember we had that entry order in here at the top. That was not yesterday or so here. And I told you guys, if that tag you, we will manage the trade to break even. So when it comes back here and it goes there, that's where you close the trade. Good. If you didn't close it there, you better close it here because your stop should be under here. You better close that trade there. If you didn't close it there, I think you close it right now because you're already wrong in that trade, right? This trade is not going to go. It's making a more complex pattern, right? Just be careful. It's getting much more complex in the pattern that it's making. So you're going to get a more complex correction. Remember, the whole structure is to the downside. But this is just making a complex correction, which means they're going to be here for a longer time before they go down, right? Good. So Cadian long, if you took it, you want, if you were in the trade already, I don't think you should close that. I think you should move your stop because let me explain that one in the Cadian. I would not close it if I wasn't. I'm not in, I didn't get tagged. But if you were in already from anywhere lower, you just move your stops very tight. You don't take it off because you can move your stop somewhere here or somewhere here and just leave it, right? Because the way this is structured, the way these patterns is developing in here, it's likely they do 1, 2, 3 and they come back down, right? They start to come back down. I don't think they're going to take off. We have to wait. This is the takeoff that I was looking for was if they were going to make a small correction here and then take off, right? That would be the perfect setup for me. This is not the perfect setup. It doesn't mean they can't go. It's just not the perfect setup that I like, which means in that case, I'm going on the side of caution. So for me, trading is not everything I see, I'm going to trade. In the first place, I cannot trade everything that I see because I see so much in the charts, in so many charts that I can't trade them. I select the ones. And the ones I select, I'm looking for very high probability in them. I'm looking for the one that, to my view, looks very good. I'm wrong sometime on that. You saw it twice in the pound Swiss. It looks very good. It did go. It just didn't go when I expected to go. Right? So it's not that it's not going to go. It's just that I decided at some point that changed. I have to get out. Right? This one, it changed. The structure, it's a beautiful trade to the upside. The structure changed. I'm out of it. We didn't get in. We just took off the order. Right? I'm waiting for it to give me that perfect setup or that high probability setup, like I like to say, right? And then we'll get it. On a USD CAD short, very risky. It's going to come down, but that's a very risky short, right? I think you'll get profit. You have to have a lot of experience to manage it. But if you manage it good, it's gonna work good for you. Worse is you're gonna get a break even. Europong, yes, Europong. Because of the news, it messed. We were looking for the downside, and because of the news, it just dropped, and now you don't want to trade it. So yeah, you want to wait for this to finish whatever it's doing here, and then take the next trade down. It's actually repeating the same pattern they have here. If you look at this pattern, they're repeating that pattern, except this pattern was a regular flat, and this one is going to be a running flat. And they're going to go down. So we can look for the short. You can actually put an entry order here. Not there, put it. This was the whole entry order. That should have come off. So you can put an entry order somewhere. If they go back higher, we'll look for a sell from the top. Right? So we should get a sell from the top, hopefully. Let's go. What else we're looking at? So let's see what the account is doing right now. Silver should be kind to us. Yes, silver is kind to us, is going back. So we're back at square one again. Hopefully we can get, the only one I'm worried about here is I'm not even worried about the euro, I'm worried about the pound Swiss. Because it's a very small trade and I need it to go to break even at least very fast because then I'll just close it. It's not a long-term trade. It was this morning I took like 2 short-term trades. One was the yen and the other one was the pound Swiss. The yen I closed for 3,000, the pound Swiss is hovering around 1,000. Maybe if it comes down to 1,000 and I see structural change, I'll just close it for that loss, which means I'll be at 2,000 positive there, right? And there. Let's see what else. I don't think we have any long-term trades. There, except for silver, there is no long-term trade. And silver, as you can see, it's not moving as yet. They're all short-term trades trading within very, very tight spots. And if you can make 1 or 2% a week trading within those tight spots, that's good. Because when you get a very good trade, you're going to make about 5-6% in that week. And if you make 3% on an average, even if you make 2% a week and you trade 50 weeks of the year, that's 100% in your account, right? Taking win and loss, right? We are taking wins and loss. Some week you might get 1%, some week you're going to get 4. If you get an average of 2, that's good, right? That's really good trading. You can double your account in a year. Why aren't you not confident in CAD strength? You mean because of the structural change. We have some structural change in the CAD, so I don't see that happening. We're not going to go into the details of those structures that we look at. This is not an educational one in terms of chart analysis. This is a trading educational webinar. So we're not going to go into why we look at those patterns differently now. We do that daily. Every day we come into a trading room, 8 a.m. London time, and we look at all these pairs. We decide what they're going to do. We look at the bigger structure, the smaller structure. We make our choice what we want to do, right? So let's go for trades we can get today. Remember what I told you guys. This is a show. I'm showing you what I do in my account, how I do what I do, as much as I can show you. So your job is to come in here, relax, get your coffee, get your chips, enjoy the show. This is not an educational thing, right? You're not going to learn very much from these. I know a lot of people say they learn very much from it, but that's because the level of where you are right now, this is very much your learning. When you get into the training course I do, then you're going to learn. That's when your mind gets blown open. Because then that's when you start seeing things differently. That's when you really start understanding what we do. Not just figuring out because of what I draw and so, but you really start understanding everything and the work behind it. What makes it move that way? Why are we looking at it like that way? How it works. Silver is moving. Yeah, that's normal. I expect it to move. Like I said, we trade without nervousness. You notice? I'm not nervous about any trade. I see people put on trade and they panic. We put trades on and go to sleep. I go to sleep in these trades, wake up, come the next day, tell you about them, right? I don't panic. That's the confidence you get. If there is anything that is worth learning this analysis, this method, is the confidence and the calmness with which it brings to your trading. Even when you lose a trade, you understand what's happening to the structure. You know why that one didn't work. You figure out where you made it wrong. You figure out the loss. You take the loss and you accept it. You learn from it and you go, right? Sometimes I know a trade is not going to go so good. I take it because, well, let's see how it jumps. And then you take a small loss. That's it. You can manage your way out of it, right? It gives you confidence because you understand what the structure is doing. That's the number one thing you're going to get here. You don't get that if you trade any other pattern, because any other thing, what they're telling you is if A happens and B happens, take the trade. They're not telling you take the trade and hope that it goes. When it doesn't go, you're in panic mode because you don't know if C is not happening. A plus B is supposed to give you C. If C is not happening, you don't know what to do. You're lost because you don't know the whole structure. We don't take a trade because of this trade. We take a trade because of the entire structure. We do the analysis on the entire structure before we decide that is a good trade. So taking a trade is not because of what you see on this one pin bar or one candle or one something or whatever. It's understanding the entire structure. And then you said, okay, well, if it is going to go up, where do I enter that trade and how do I do it, right? Oh, the new trader, yeah. New traders in my group, they always get their minds blown because first thing when they come in and they learn so much different things that we're telling them, hey, you learned that, forget about it. It's not working. You learned this, forget about it. It's not working. And they're like, why? How the hell, right? And most traders come in and I tell them, read the Elliott Wave book. And then they come back and say, well, you're not doing anything from the book except the names of the patterns. Yes, that's all we do. We take the names of the patterns because we were not the first people to identify those patterns. That's all. The rules are different. Our rules for trading are different. Our everything else is different. But because those patterns that we see were identified by someone before us, they have the credit for it, not we. We don't take credit for that, right? But everything else, absolutely different. You don't get the setup. We don't even label the charts like they do, right? So let's go. This session is going to be more educational in terms of talking because I was here since 6 a.m. and I don't see anything else that we can get in right now. The only thing we can do is pump CAD. Let's go take a risky one and pump CAD. I like it, right? So let's look at the structure. Let me bring you a little up to date with the structure, right? Pump CAD, we want this cell. I'm going to draw one line. We want this cell. See that? Now, if you look backwards, could anybody tell me, any one of you here, can you tell me if you're here, can you make a forecast that this thing is going to come down to this level and probably even go lower? So if you look at this chart, you have this chart in front of you. This thing is going up very strong, right? You can see this thing is going up crazy. Can you actually make a forecast that it's somewhere here that this thing is going to come back here? Actually, from the top, we made that forecast that it's going to come to retest that low. Well, go check TradingView. Go to it's banned, but you can still go to it. And you can actually check that I have a forecast from here for this to break. It's on the weekly. It's a we're in the weekly. I don't know why I don't see it. I think it was an FXCM, so I don't know why it's not showing up. Maybe because I'm banned, they don't show up, but it's very easy. We made that forecast way back that it's going to come here. I think it's done on this chart. My fault. Let me see. I'll tell you if it's done. I think I did it on this chart. Let me see. I did it on the IDC chart. Let's see if we have it here. I'll explain to you why we look at the structure that way and how it works. No, it's not here. Sorry. I thought I had it here. So we'll come back to why we look at it that way. So let's go. So while this was all happening, while that correction was all happening, remember we discussed these trades that they're going to go down all the punk pairs. I did a webinar specifically in all the punk pairs. Go back, look at that webinar. It's written all the punk pairs, so you can find it. And we're looking for it. So I think by now, if you follow me at least for a few classes, you know you know my drawing. Find an impulse, find the correction, and look for another impulse. This one is classical, right? So we want the big sell. If you want the big sell, go back into the charts and find a sell setup. So do we have a sell setup? Well, not right now, but we're going to look for one right here. And if we get it, that's a risky one, but we will take it. The reason it's risky is because this is going to go back more. It might just come here and go back. We will have to put a stop here, a very tight stop. So if they come here, this will be a consolidation for upside, and then the downside will start. But just in case, who knows? What if they decide to drop from here? Just what? Let's just make an assumption. What if they decide to drop from here? Because that's a big move to the downside. You can risk 0.5% of your account on that if you're winning, right? Like me, I 0.5%, I wouldn't even be worried. I wouldn't even blink. I'll just put it on, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into 15 minutes. We're going to get into this trade. We're going to put this. This is the corrective structure you want to break. We want them to break out first. We're going to look for a very small trade. We're going to look for this to probably come to about this area here, about 50% of that move up, and we'll put it to break even. You're going to put a dead tight stop here because if they go back to that area, you definitely don't want to be in a trade, right? This is what I'm going to do. I shouldn't say you. This is what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to put a dead tight stop there. I'm going to look for the trade to the downside. I'm not taking it as yet. It isn't breaking anything. And you notice if it doesn't break, they can go right back up again, right? So if this doesn't break right, what happened to my joint? Okay, it's going to go right back up and they can do that for a while. So we'll wait on it. Come on, don't do that. We'll wait on this. If you're interested in the course, wait, please wait to the end of the webinar. If any one of you on YouTube are here interested in it, we'll wait to the end of the webinar. Let's not disturb the webinar because the course is not that important. The important what we're doing here right now, right? No, I'm not from UAE and I lived in Russia for 20 years and I'm not a Russian and I'm not an Indian. I have Indian name, but I'm not an Indian. I'm Guyanese. Most of you might not even know where Guyana is, right? Go Google it. You have Google, right? Google it. Google Guyana. It's a very small country in South America. I went to study in Russia and I stayed there and I got married there and then I moved to Dubai, right? I'm living on Earth. That's it. I always said I'm an international person. I live everywhere. You're from Grenada, Jamaica. Oh, well, yeah, man. Them guys gonna know me, right? I'm Grenadese and then Jamaicans gonna know me. So when I meet my people, I talk like them, right? We put on our curlies. So, okay, let's go. If you're from that area, you should recognize my accent that I'm from there. I used to have a Jamaican, when I was studying, I used to have a Jamaican neighbor. The next room to my room in the dorm was a Jamaican. And that was my first exposure to Jamaicans. Because before that, I never meet real Jamaican people. You see them, but you never meet them. And this guy would wake up every day and I don't know what the hell he's saying. Literally, he'd come and he'd speak to me, but I had no idea what he was saying. So I had a Jamaican guy who was in my class, in studying medicine too, in my class. And I said, come, I need your help because I understand what that guy says. Whatever that guy's saying, we were very clear to each other. So I said, I need you to tell me what Gregory is saying. I have no idea. So he came to my place and I called Gregory and they were talking and he was like, oh, Gregory, don't worry with him. You wouldn't understand. Gregory is from another part of Jamaica where the accent is even worse than you can imagine, right? I didn't know you had different accent depending on where you are in Jamaica, right? So eventually by the end of the year, I start getting everything Gregory said. I totally start figuring him out, right? Let's go. Those were days that you could, was really fun. So wait for this trade. This might be the only small trade we get today. I'm actually trying to find a trade for you guys. so that you can see me take a trade at least every day, right? Not the ones I took while you were not here, because you guys weren't here when I took these and closed them. I even took the yen and closed it for 3,000 before you came, right? So I want to make it. I wish I could make one right here and close it right here, so that you actually see that whole process, right? You've seen me put entry orders, you've seen me take trade, but you haven't seen me like took a full trade and close it. Normally I'm in trade for weeks and months and very long time. So this, what I'm doing here for you, is a little out of what I normally do in my account, because I normally take trades and go to sleep until I go on holidays and come back on those trades, right? Don't post any link. We're not going to open the links. That's one. Second, be careful if you're posting any link. Make sure it's your work. It's not anybody's else's work. We're not going to discuss anybody's else's work in here, right? Let's avoid doing that. Oh, the ID and the punk card. Okay, thank you for that. Then let me see if I can find that. Open it. Thank you. You went back and you found it. That's great. Because I don't want anybody accusing us of anything. Not this one. This is the small one, right? This is the small one. We actually have another one. Look at the monthly. I think it's in the weekly and on that one, where this is forecasting this correction to the upside. We forecast the big fall. It is 4 charts in one. They have one where there is 4 charts in one of them. That was the one, if you find it. No rush if you don't find it. So silver is going very nice for us. Let's go back to what we were doing. Let's find a trade. So we're waiting on this trade. Let's see what else we can get while we're waiting on this. Let me see. I'm scanning my charts to see what I can see. You guys saw my setup, right? Somebody wrote, can you post a photograph of your table? Who did that? That person should be in the room. So I said, okay. After our London webinar this morning, my desk is a little messy. I think all of you know that by now. So I just took my phone, take a photograph and post it. I didn't really. It's on Facebook. This is what you guys can see where I sit down and what I do. It's on Facebook. Let me see if I can open it. Go to ProWave and you're going to see it. By the way, you should definitely follow me on Facebook. You should like the page and stay here for one reason only. If I can't get anywhere else, if I can't get in contact with you anywhere else, I'll probably get in contact with you on Facebook. For some reason, sometimes Skype doesn't work. You know, YouTube might not work. Facebook seems to work. This is where I'm sitting right now. Right, that's my desk. So when I said I'm scanning my charts for trades, I'm actually talking about these charts here. See those charts at the top there? I have them open all the time. So when I want to take a very quick look at what's going on, that's where I scan them. And you see this one that has this here? I have all the yen pairs there right now. So I don't keep that platform open all the time because the yen pairs are there. This one I have, I have this, I have my group there, and I have a few more things there that I keep on that one. But this is where I do all the work. This is the screen you're looking at right now. See that middle screen there? That is the one you guys are looking at. Right? That is the one where I do all the work from. So when I said I'm scanning my screen, I'm looking at these to see if there's a trade setup. Right? Basically. The view out here is stunning. If any one of you have been to Dubai, have you seen the view to the marinas? There's a canal. There's a man-made canal out there. The marina. If anybody in Dubai who've been there know where the marina is, right? So I'm living on the marina. The view is amazing. I just love it. When you're tired, you can just turn around and watch out there. It's really nice. Rent here is a little expensive, but if you consider that you don't pay tax here, for me, the difference from Russia to here wouldn't make a difference, right? Because I don't pay tax here. I have to pay tax if I'm in Russia. So if this rent is a little more expensive than Russia, then that's the difference. But this is my apartment. I'm not renting it. So basically, you got a very nice view out there. Amazing view. So people ask me how you trade, what you do. This is what I do every day. So let's go. Make sure you like this make sure you set it to get notification, because what I'm planning to do this year is every now and then I'm going to do just one of these impromptu sessions, right? So let's say impromptu session. Let's say I see a very nice setup somewhere. I may just go on YouTube Live and put it on there for you guys, right? So if you're on my Facebook page, you will get the notification. Join this. I'll probably post a link and say, join me in the next hour. Let's look at these setups. I'm going to do them without planning. So if you follow me here and you set yourself up to get the notification from Facebook, you will get it, right? That's it. I'm not going to plan them in advance. So let's say I see something very nice setting up for a very nice trade, and I want to give it to all of you. I'll just put a link on and say, hey guys, join me right now. We're going to go live, and we're going to go live on YouTube. And if you join me, you get the trade. If you don't join me, well, you will see the recording, and then you'll go and set it. So it's better if you do that now, right? If you set yourself up. I don't post things to bother you here. If you look at it, all you would see is about trading, right? I don't post anything, and I don't have time for that in the first place. My time is limited to post everything all over the place, right? All the social medias. I just use them for a specific purpose, for trading, nothing else. Yeah, the course is still there. We'll talk about the course at the end. Just stick around to the end, we'll talk about the course. Let's not bore everybody who don't want the course, right? That chair next to the table, that's what Nicholas does. But when Nicholas comes here, I have to leave my chair and sit there, because he comes and take over my chair. He's like, okay, he comes, he sits on me, and then he said, Papa, can you move, right? He's gonna tell me to move out, and he takes over my chair, and I have to sit there. He's the little boss. This thing is not breaking. Let's go find something else. Let's go look at pound dollar. Maybe it's another risky one. All the pound trades right now, they're correcting, so they're a little risky, but I just want to get a trade for you guys so you're not bored, right? Or maybe I'll teach you a little lesson, something. We can go to that if you guys want. So this broke here, but you see, when they start to do like this, when you start to see that consolidation, they're just literally consolidating. They're not doing anything. They're just consolidating within the zone. We will probably get a running flat, and then we might get a buy setup, right? I think we're going to go up. So I'll have to watch my pound Swiss trade to get out for break even, because this is most likely going to just consolidate here and push up. They can actually make a sudden drop here and go back. That's my only hope, right? That they make that sudden drop and go. That was the one about the pound cat. Thank you. Let's see if we can bring that up. That was the monthly one, right? I think, yep, that's it. See, from this point, remember I told you from that point we took it to come and break. You can actually play this if they will play. Let me see if it will play. Perfect, right? From there, come down here, and this is your next consolidation. So it has to drop one more. There is a good reason why this has to go down one more. There's a very good reason for that. We're not going to discuss the reason, but if you see this chart, see how simple it is. I always tell you guys, it's very simple. You have an impulse, find a correction. You get another impulse, find a correction. You get another impulse, you get a smaller correction in here, you're going to get another impulse. You see, you had a correction here and you had a correction there. You see how many corrections you had in this one? You're getting corrections in this. You see, you got a correction there in that one to the downside. You got a correction there. You're getting a bigger correction here. You're going to get another drop. You will get some corrections in here too, right? Corrections are good. They give you better opportunity to make money. See? Thank you for that one. Well done, Antonio. Good job. So, see how easy it is? So let's go trade. Let's go find it. It's pretty easy, guys. It's easy. And remember that escalator thing. It's easy if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you can break your legs or break your neck. Be careful, right? I literally had to catch a lady because she put one foot in it, and then she started panicking and she wanted to jump off, and the other foot is going, and then she's grabbing. I had to really grab her, like she was falling backwards and I was just behind her. I had to grab her and say, like, no, steady, get balance. Right? Because it happens on a simple thing like that. No, it's not so much chance, Alex. Chances you're taking, we're not taking chances here. I think I've heard people said this before, and I made a comment on it, and I was on TradingView and I made a comment. And I think a few people were very angry at me, right, about it. One person was saying, well, trading is like you flip a coin. If you flip a coin 100 times, the chances are you're going to get this much. So that's BS. If your trading is like flipping a coin, you might as well go flip burgers for your living. Because trading should not be like flipping a coin. You're not taking chances in here. You're making educated trades. You're not making a guess. If you guess what you're doing, you're in trouble. You have to be educated in what you do. It's like a doctor. He's not taking a chance on you. He studied how to do that, right? He's not, when he's doing that operation, he's not telling you, hey, I'm just a chance. Maybe I'll find your appendix. Maybe I'll not find your appendix, and I'll just cut whatever I find, right? He doesn't do that. You have to study it. You have to understand it. You treat this like something like a business that you have to study. You have to be well educated about it, which means you have to put the time into study and to get the education, right? You can't, by the way, I don't think you have access to Slack again. Message me on Slack if you can, but I think all you guys were banned from Slack. For all my traders who were banned from Slack, can you just send me a Skype message? By the way, thank you for reminding me about it. Right? Some of you guys were thrown off Slack for whatever reason. I'm not going to talk about that here. Message me on Skype so I work something out with you guys. All right? If you still have access to Slack, yes, send me the message in Slack. Oh, 100% yearly, that's easy to gain. You know how many of my traders are doing it? Day in, day out. Not difficult to do. So let's keep an eye on this. We look for a buy here, not a sell. We'll leave the pump cat alone too, because I don't think we're gonna go. The only trade we have going very nice. How many of you in the silver trade? Let's do something interesting. How many people in the silver trade? Come on. Give me a yes. Let's see like 2,000 yeses. How many people in the room? 200? I want to see all the yeses there. Good. Finally, we go. Finally, we're getting somewhere. Yes. Great. So you're learning, right? Because if you're here and you're not in a silver trade, you're wasting your time. Literally, if you're in this room with me, you're not taking a silver trade, you're wasting your entire time being here, right? So I can't see the people on Facebook, what they're saying. So you guys, we still have space in this room. If you're on Facebook and you want, you can still join. We're going to be here for the next 2 hours. So you can join us so we can have some more fun. The more, the merrier it is. Let's go. So this is coming, right? Be careful. We might get a better trade here today because we're expecting it to go up much more. We're expecting this to go up much more, not like the shorter ones we had the day before. This could come all the way to this stop. So this should be a very good trade. If you wait for it to go lower, you're just wasting a lot of time, right? Because within this piece that is doing, we're making money daily, right? So it's going to come lower, but you might as well buy this one and then sell that one if you want to sell. This might be a bigger one to worth selling. That might be worth selling. But look at it when that time comes. I think euro is going to go up back because all these trades are looking very much upside, right? See euro is starting to consolidate there. Like, it's not going to go up very far. It's probably just going to go up maybe like this and then come down. So we can take the risk of keeping the trade, or you can just get rid of the trade and then look for a sell again from the top if we get it. Let me see how much we're upside down to decide if we're going to keep it. 700. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I don't like it. One pull back into this level. If they don't go now, but pull back one more into this level, that would be a break even for us. We'll close the trade, right? We'll close it, and then we will wait for it to go back up and then get a better advantage of the sell if we still have a sell, right? Because there is some divergence in the chart. I think you should see that. So there are a number of other things I'm looking at that says you might get a deeper correction. Remember, I showed you this pattern, right? Let me go back in the 4 hour. I still think this is coming down. This is still coming down here. The question is whether they're going to make one more up before they do that, whether this is going to make one more up here and then come down. This thing is going down. It doesn't matter what you know, it's going down. That's simple. The bigger picture is it's going down. The only question we have is it going down right now, or is it going to go back up big and then come? So for trading purposes, we took that trade. We closed 1-2 trades in it. We closed 1 trade in it, I think, 1 or 2. I can't remember. Maybe 2 trades I took, but we closed 1 in the room here. My traders took some from here too. So this one, if this is going to go back up for a deeper thing, we want to get out. So we'll go to the 15 minutes to look for an exit. I'm not going to exit this yet. I wanted to drop 1 more and then I'll consider the exit. At least at break even if I can do that. Right? So you can see sometime how I exit trades as well. So why close your position from yesterday? Well, because it's going to go into consolidation. You don't have to stay in the consolidation. You look for a better entry. So this position yesterday was from that entry point to this level. I closed it because I saw this. I knew this was going to consolidate back up, right? Go back up. So when's the start to do that? You got this. This morning in our room, we looked for this. We were thinking about it, buy here if it's going to go more, but then we said, not a good idea. It might be short term. Look for this sell. Actually, this right now here, let me see in the 1 hour what it looks like. Is not a bad sell setup as it is, right? But because of the divergence and what I think is going to go deeper, we could exit it and get in at a better place. And especially if silver is going up, then if it's a dollar movement, a lot of things will start to go down. If you look at Swiss is already making some corrections. They're not going to change direction. They're making corrections. Swiss could change direction. I'll be careful of Swiss. It can change direction. But we don't have a sell setup in it. So we'll just wait for it to happen, right? Let's see. I'm not in silver because Saxo Singapore on February 15, the minimum margin rate on precious metals. Oh, that's a lot. I didn't see that on my platform. In any case, I'm not worried about it because I have a lot of equity when I'm trading. I keep a lot of equity in the account, so that's not a problem for me. Do you know why New Zealand Usd dropped today so heavily? Who knows? That is not important. You don't care why it dropped. You're looking at the structure. We saw that drop coming, right? It doesn't matter why it dropped. So remember, I told you guys there were two possibilities we were looking for, was whether we're going to look at this as a running flat and up, or we will wait to see if it consolidates, and then you're looking for downside, right? So once we got the consolidation, it's downside. Is that going to go down totally? No. I think we're going to go up some more, right? I think this is likely going to go up some more, and it's going to go up big time, because I don't think this is making a pullback before they go. This is a little too sharp for that. If we see another consolidation, we will sell. If we see another consolidation, we will sell. If they break that low, then I would look for a bigger pattern to the downside, which means I would look for some kind of a flat in the middle here before they go down one more. All right, so this is the structure we're looking at, that bigger structure. Excuse me. It's either we're going to have a big consolidation here and then drop to the low, or we're already going up. It's small. That impulse is small, but that impulse qualified for the end of the pattern, which means the pattern could either end right here with what we have, or that impulse could continue to go down more, right? Like I said, we're not doing a class here, but I'm trying to let you guys understand, and it's difficult. I know it's difficult for you to understand what I'm saying here. If you didn't do the whole 6 weeks, you can understand what I'm saying here, right? Like, what is he saying? I don't know. It's like qualified to finish, but it's not finished, right? That might be difficult until you have all the information. What is a long-term monthly chart view on Pound USD? Okay, we can do that. We have nothing else to do, so let's go look at the Pound USD long-term chart. Let me bring it back from where it is. Let's go to the weekly, and let's go to the monthly. Let me take all of this up. So long term, there's a very strong likelihood that this is ending, right? So either they're going to retest the low and then start an up move, and it's going to be a long-term up move. And we will know that by depending on what they're going to do in here. Or this piece here gets more complicated. You get one more low and then you go, right? So I'm not expecting too much consolidation in this area. Go to the daily now, because the weekly is the same thing. It doesn't make sense. So right now, there is a very, very high probability that we're looking for this to go up a little more and drop. Right? Go up a little more and drop. There's a very, very high probability for that. So we're going to keep our eyes out for the buy on a lower time frame. That is, we want this buy if this is going to go. If this starts to break, we will wait for a sell setup. But I think on the 1 hour, we are likely going to have one more impulse today. Maybe they're going to do that during the debate again, give you one more impulse, everybody gets in the buy, and then drop it. Drop it really strong. So strong that you're going to make a lot of profit, right? So we will look for that. Long term, you're in a downtrend right now, but that trend is ending, right? And it always is going to be like that. They're going to push until everybody thinks, well, this is no good anymore. And then it's going to start to go back up, right? And the upside will be very, very sharp impulses, which means you're not going to get in those impulses. They're likely, if you don't know when to get in, it's going to go without you. And then they're going to go into, when you jump in there, it's going to go into long, deep consolidation. When you're out, it's going to move again, right? The US CAD chart you sent me, that is probably not here for me to see. That probably is in the update. So let's leave that. Euro USD is moving slowly. New Zealand is moving. It's moving slowly. It's not moving anywhere. It's just stuck where it is. Let's see. New Zealand yen. We spoke about that already. We took out the entry order because it's going down, but that's not a sell setup. Let me go look at New Zealand yen and see New Zealand yen. Good. It's going down, but it's a consolidation for upside. So if you want to sell, you got to wait for this to make a flag, and then we would look for a sell setup. If we get a flag there, we'll take a sell. If we get another flag here, we'll take a sell. If we get another flag here, we'll take a sell. Every time we get a flag, we'll take a sell. Right? Because after that, it's going to go up. You take a sell, take the profit. Nifty is going up. Let's see. Check Euro Yen. Let's see. Euro Yen has something we should look at. Let's go take a look. Let me open my yen charts. Oh, Euro Yen is making a flag. We're waiting on it. So I have it. But remember, this is going to be very short term because you're looking at a consolidation. So If they do this and they drop and they do that and they drop and they do, eventually the move is to the upside, right? The bigger move is to the upside. We're expecting this to go up. So this downside is just the pullback. Deutsche Bank will go up, but it will. I have that chart. It's going to take a very long time. I had a trade once in it, and I just took it off. It didn't go anywhere for like 6 months. It went up, came down, back, went up, came. It didn't go. It was like stuck in a consolidation. I think it even went a little down, and then it came back a little up. It's between $20 and $18, I think. Deutsche Bank, if I can, between $10 and $8. Sorry, somewhere there, $10 and $8. Let me see if I can. I have it, Deutsche Bank. I think I have the chart here. It's not going anywhere, but it will be good opportunity. Don't buy this. This is that, or don't sell this as yet. This is likely going to come up here a little. They're probably going to do something like this. Maybe they're going to come. If they come back here, then we would look for the buy. But right now, it's more like they're consolidating here for a short-term sell. So it's not perfect. On the daily, this thing is a perfect buy setup if you're an investor. If you're a long-term investor, you decide to invest for the long term, this is a good trade. This is a good chart. Let me put it in the weekly so you can probably see. This chart is very nice if you're looking for a long-term trade, right? So at some point, this thing is going to go back like that. Right? At some point, it's going to go back all the way to about 100 or so, 100, 120. And then they're going to start the next long drawdown to the downside, right? So what needs to happen in the world for that to happen? I have no idea. You don't want to post any chart with our Slack group in it. Was it? I don't know what's your point. You're not supposed to put. Can you remove that? Guys, don't do that thing. When people click on that chart, we don't know where they're going to get access to, right? You don't want to do that. I tried to tell you, we're not going to open the chart here. I don't know what's your point. Okay, let's go. We had one person accidentally share the whole Slack group already. We had to just redo everything. If the Deutsche Bank is going to collapse, I don't think so. Banks don't collapse. If good banks don't collapse that easy, unless it's a bank that is set up for a specific purpose that could collapse. They know that's going to collapse. But big banks like that, they hardly allow them to collapse. They don't collapse. They have the money. Don't worry. Right? So let's go. So it's going to go up big time. It's going to go back up. Let everybody get tired of it. Then somebody will come and buy it out for nothing, and then it's going to go back up, right? So they will make it looks like it's collapsing, and then somebody who is informed or who knows what is going to happen is going to go buy it out, and then, you know. Okay. Don't post it. Don't post that. We don't want to open the Slack room in here. Okay. It's in panelists, but good. Don't do it. Let's go. He put it in panelists, which is good, because accidentally we can share the entire Slack group if we do that. So let's go back to what we were doing. Okay, we're looking for pound Swiss is coming down slowly. Might be a good trade. The Euro Swiss might be a good trade. The Euro Swiss. Let's see if we get a Euro Swiss trade. One hour. 15 minutes. Let's go. Oh, it's still consolidating. So wait. See, patience. If you have the patience, you're not going to be in the trade. Wait. Go back to the 1 hour and wait. It's not going anywhere, but we will get the trade. We might get this one today. This one is very light. The euro is not going anywhere. It's just going sideways. Let's see. Okay, if it comes back one more down, I'll just close it and then we'll look at it, because they're probably not going to go down today. Yen. We're looking for a yen sell. Let's go back to the yen. This yen sell would be a very good one if we get it. If we get the yen sell, it's going to be a very good one. Very, very good. Not going anywhere as yet. Everything is stopped. The only thing moving right now, I'm looking at all my charts, the only thing moving right now is silver. So it's good we're in silver, right? It's pretty good we're in silver. We're going to get some money at least today. Let's go back to it. That's the only thing moving, right? Nothing else is moving. Let's hope it goes all the way to the top here so we can close that and then look for another trade to the downside. What else is moving? Let's go. Pound Swiss is not coming back as yet. So pound Swiss is coming very slow. We're 1,500. Let's go to the pound Swiss. Maybe we'll have to take a coffee break or take some questions. It will come down, so let it come and then we'll deal with it. So let's take some questions. Gold, I don't think gold has anything. Gold might be going up like silver. Let's see if we have a trade set up there. Same, I would not take the gold. You notice gold didn't break below. I would not take the gold. There's a reason why we will not take that trade. It's still in this consolidation, so I will not touch gold based on the pattern that I'm seeing. Not a good idea to take that trade. Okay, let's see what else we're looking at. Anybody, what else? Anybody seeing anything else that is good for trading that we can look at? Right now, there is no trade, so you just take a pause. Let's take a pause. You get coffee. Let's take some questions. Okay, questions. Stop. Let's get the question. A good investment for 20. What are you looking at? Silver. I don't know what else. The pound we're looking at. Do you think Aussie has broken a triangle? Aussie, I don't see Aussie in a triangle as yet. I'll have to go back and check. Maybe there is one. Let's say a good investment. What we already answered that one. Pound Aus short. We look at that. Those are very short-term trades. Copper, yes, copper upside is a good trade. I already identified it yesterday. Copper good side, you can. I think you should be tagged in the copper trade already. Let me look at that. Copper to the upside. You should be in the trade tag because we had an entry order there, right? If you want, right? The entry order was here. You should be tagged in that trade if you want. Copper could go, but I'm more keen on silver than copper. It's the same metal, so I go with silver. Aussie, New Zealand, we are waiting some more for the trade. If you're already in it, just move your stops. Right? Aside from trading, what else am I passionate about? I don't know, but as I get old, I have a quest for history. I like anything that is historical. I look at it. I don't read a lot of them because access to books might be low. But what I get on the internet, but mostly these videos, not the kind of YouTube videos we're talking about, right? But educational videos, historical educational videos. I somehow like that. That's my distraction from trading. I only like that when I started getting old. When I was younger, history wasn't my thing. Politics is the next thing that I have a lot of passion for. You don't hear me talk about politics here because by rule, we don't talk about politics and religion in our group. That's a rule. We don't discuss those things there unless it's like one thing somebody can say Happy New Year's or Merry Christmas or Happy Diwali, but we don't discuss politics and religion. Those things will get you in trouble. But among my friends, we can do that when you're sitting at a table, not in a big room where you have everybody with different belief systems, right? Let's go. Do you think Brexit will happen anyway? I don't care. Literally, it wouldn't change anything. Honestly, it wouldn't change anything. They Brexit, they don't Brexit, it wouldn't change anything. The big picture, nothing will change. Absolutely. If you understand, if you guys understand how the world actually works, let me just explain that in very short. This is my view. I don't hope I'm not going to hurt anybody like that. It's very simple. You remember, everybody likes to talk about the 1%ers, and they're telling you about people like Bill Gates and people like Mark Zuckerberg and people like all the billionaires you have. Forget about those. Those are shows. The real rich people or the real rich owners of assets are the people who actually control assets around the world. It's called access to resource. You don't know those people, you don't hear about them. You don't know what company they own. So when you're the 1% is a distraction to us that you can become rich, you can become a sports person and become a millionaire and a super rich people. That's how the world works, right? You can get accidentally, you can become very rich. Eventually, all your richness goes back to the owners of resources. Why do you think we have wars and we have political problem all over the world? It's access to resource. If access to resource is easy, that's a good government. If access to resources is difficult, that's a bad government. I can tell you from my experience, when Yeltsin was in power, Russia was a good country. It's considered, the world news would say Russia was a wonderful country because the resource was moving away from Russia like, I don't know, like if you lose some kids into a candy bar and you can take what you want. And the world loved Russia for that. As soon as the access to those resources were changed, it was limited, was not given the way it was given away, Russia became a very bad country. These are just my views. But I lived there, so I saw that and I knew what was going on. I'm not talking about political structures and political people. I'm not talking politics. I'm telling you resource, understanding how the world works in terms of resource, in terms of trading, in terms of what we do. Movement of resources, how that happens in the world. My country, all of you will hear about my country in 5 years from now, Guyana. It's a very small country, but you will hear about it 5 years from now. You know why? They found oil resource in Guyana. Nobody knew where Guyana was. Nobody cares about Guyana. And we were talking that we had oil there for like 20 years. We were telling everybody we have oil. Why don't you come and look for oil? Nobody was interested. As soon as Venezuela started nationalizing their oil, Venezuela is our neighbor. As soon as they started nationalizing the oil company, all the oil company came to Guyana and started to drill. And they found a huge resource of oil. I mean, really huge resource. We're going to be in the top 5 probably, oil reserves country. So 5 years, 10 years from now, you're going to hear about my country. I don't think that will bring my country very much success because they're only drilling and we already owe them money. We owe them $300 and something million already, and they haven't given us a cent on the oil money. So it's dangerous sometimes for small countries like that to become so wealthy with oil because they will drain you, like Venezuela. Venezuela no longer has oil. That oil belongs to Guyana now, right? Exactly, and we've been telling them that for like years. But because they were already drilling in Venezuela, they didn't come to Guyana to drill. Nobody was interested. No, you don't have oil. Because they were getting the oil from Venezuela. The resource was there and they're getting it. Why come to the neighboring country to look for it? As soon as that country blocks the access to that resource, okay, we're coming over there. Don't worry. You guys have oil. We found oil in your country. And not only oil, there is clay. There is a metal that is in clay. You know they make all these electronic things. There is a heavy metal in clay, and the biggest reserves of that place in China. China is the only country in the world that actually processes that heavy metal to put into these. Not silicon. It's another heavy metal to put into these. Not the aluminum we are producing, but this is, I don't know what's the name of it. It's a rare, very rare heavy metal. They use it in the industrial thing. And not nickel, it's not popular. The name, don't write any name you know because it's not that. And it's found in clay, in a rare clay metal, right? And we have huge reserves in Guyana, but nobody wants to go there. When China said they're going to do studies in it, Guyana starts having problem. We start having really huge problem once China said they were going to search for that clay there in Guyana. We had to stop it. My government had to stop it. So if you guys understand anything about it, the show you are seeing on TV is show. It's a national show for everybody for people like me and you to relax, watch, and believe we know some things about politics. They're fighting over closing of government or fighting over this law. That has nothing. That's like you're watching a TV reality show. The real things are happening behind the scene, right? So what we are doing here is that we are allowed to make some money so that it can look like you can make money. We're allowed to do this. Literally, they allow us. They open it so people can trade internet, right? People can do internet trading. You only do what you're allowed to do. It's not that simple, guys. Let me don't get too carried away too far. So come back to what we are doing. Let's go find trades, right? Right. We have an abundance of it in Guyana. They did a studies once and they found, but they never. We have some very rare metals that actually prevent any other studies in my country, which means we're not allowed to allow people to go do that studies there because of those things, right? We just can't do it. That's it. You were told you can't do it, and don't do it. Right? It's that simple. You do what you're told to do. Algorithm trading, forget about it. If it was working, we wouldn't be here because the bigger companies would already be doing it, and it will be useless for us to do. We wouldn't have a chance in the market if algorithm trading was working. It's that simple. You can think about it. Just think if you can create a robot and you can create some algorithms and you can put that and you're going to make money nonstop. And it's working, right? Let's assume it's working. And you're I don't know, name me the biggest, your Citibank, your Citigroup, not Citibank, your Citigroup. And you know that this thing worked. Can you imagine what's going to happen? Just think about it. Make logical sense out of things. If it was working that easy, Citigroup would be, these big companies will be killing each other with it. It doesn't work. So that's not how it works, and it's not going to work. It's selling robot for $10, for $20, for $500. It's a way of it's scamming you. It's literally scamming you, right? So what they do is they create some kind of an algorithm and they put 50, 60 accounts that are $200 account on it. And hopefully one of those may go into profit. Right? One of those, they can put 60 of a $200 account on it, and one of them will go into profit. They will blow up 59, one will go. They're not talking about $500,000, right? Nobody risk $500,000 and said, hey, look, I put $500,000 on the robot and look how much money I make. They said, hey, we put $200 and it make $3 million, right? So, or we put $200 and it become $1 million. Can you buy it for $50? So I was in one of those webinars and I asked the guy, I said, hey, why are you selling it so cheap for $50? Why don't you go to one of the big banks and sell them for 10 million? Because if you can take $200 to 1 point something million, they're literally they're gonna buy you together with the robot. Doesn't work. You guys, I mean, these are common sense things. I don't know why people fall for those. They're very common sense things, right? I told you the story when I was once in the webinar, when I was learning, I was in a webinar and the guy was selling people MACD. He literally was selling them the MACD. $20. People were buying it like crazy because he said, hey, you see this thing I have here? Every time you get divergence, it works like magic. You get a move down. And he's showing a whole lot of these divergence, right? All over. Divergence here, you get a signal to buy. Divergence here, you get a signal to sell. I'm like, but that's the MACD, right? After my third posting that's the MACD, I was thrown out of the webinar. Right? It's easy. Most traders don't like to do research. They don't like to do. You ask my traders, they'll tell you what we do in the group. You study everything. You learn things. You're educated. Everything has to be based on education, on knowledge. You can't trade if you don't have that, right? Yeah, 500 for the RSI, right? These are real things. They happen. You go scan the internet. You're going to see how many of those happen. Our silver is going very nice. Let's load it back the account. Why is it not? I shouldn't have kept that one there. Accidentally loaded there. Anyway, I can't edit this. It's gone. Anyway, you can't access the account with what you saw, right? So hopefully that is a mistake, but you can't access the account with that. Right. So let's go. We're going good with silver. We're going good with, where is the euro? The euro trade is going up, not going good. Euro and the pound is the Swiss pound. Swiss is not going good. We'll deal with those later. Let's go with that. Let's go look at euro. Euro might give us one of those drop like yesterday, because silver is moving up to the top faster than everything, which means silver is going to come back down, right? This is going up just like this did yesterday. Let me just show you guys. Make it bigger. Choose a different color, pink. Oh, sorry. Let's use the pink color. That just like that, we're probably going to get one of this, and then we'll get a pullback. They may drop and then go back up, right? If they make a flag here, we're going to exit the trade. So no need to worry. Let's see what else we're looking at. Nothing is making a setup to trade. I can tell you that. We're looking for yen. It's don't have no setup in it. We're looking for Pong, no setup in it. Pong might give a buy. Let's see. We can go buy the Pong if the Pong breaks. CAD yen, it's just breaking out of the top, but like I said, it's not a good setup to trade. I can see the CAD yen from here on my chart. I have it open. So we can buy this if this breaks, but it's not breaking right now. We will put an entry order. If it breaks, do we have any pound news coming out? No, not now. Maybe it's going to break later tonight, but you don't want to trade during that volatile time. Better to be out of the trades, any pound trades, right? Because you can just see it go up 50, 60 pips and come back in a second and take you out, right? I would close my pound Swiss trade before that happens, either for a loss or for a profit or breaking out, close it. Can you make cursory within the first month? Depends on the size of your account. Some people made, we had one guy who made the course fee within the first 2 weeks that he was trading. But he was trading, I think, about a $200,000 account, right? So if you're trading a $1,000 account, you might not even make the course fee in a whole year, right? That is why we don't take people with that small account, right? But it depends on the size of your account and how good you are at trading. Right? It's a simple thing, right? We can't promise you success. Success is individual. Anybody who is promising you they're going to make you successful, run to the opposite direction. Success is an individual thing. It's each person individual, their ability to learn, their ability to implement the knowledge they have, their ability to handle risk. We are giving you a successful system, a successful method of analysis, successful strategy. We're guiding you and we're holding your hand and we're doing daily webinars for you. So we're doing everything to prevent you from losing your account. That's the number one thing we have. And then if you're a very good person, if you're a very good learner, you're very good, quick at understanding things, you're good with risk, you become successful very fast. That is why we have people who quadruple their account in a year, triple their account in a year, double their account in a year, 10% in a year, and some still struggling after the end of the year. We still have about 40% of the group that is not making money as yet, which means they're still struggling. They're not losing their account, which is good, but they're not making money. And that's 40%, that's a lot, right? It's much better than, 60% success is much better than the rest of the groups out there and the rest of Forex out there, but that's not good enough for me. I want 100% success. So we have implemented a new thing this year. Every new trader will be attached to a successful trader. We're going to try to get every struggling trader, I will try to get them and attach them to a successful trader for one-on-one sessions. And I do one-on-one with them myself as well. And we continuously do classes, updates of classes and all these things in the room, right? So we're setting up systems to help people who are struggling, because there will always be people who will struggle. So when you set up all these systems, you help them to make profit, to at least understand whether trading is for them and not to lose their account. On what size account? I missed your question, and the second question on what size account was not there. Could you talk more about time access? We'll do that. That's a good question. I'll do that in the next break. Let me see. Yes, what size? I'm not sure what silver should correct over. Euro is the small flag and 50 minutes to go short in the. Yeah, we can do that. We can go short in the euro. The euro Oz, I think you said. Yeah, euro Oz. We can probably do that. Marvy, is it the lack of trading experience from them? No, it's not just only a lack of trading experience. I do a lot of one-on-one, I can tell you. Some of them are still struggling with their analysis. Some of them are struggling with, like one guy, he's very good at analyzing, he just can't click trades. Psychologically, he can't click trades. Well, when I find out why he couldn't, well, he was over trading his whole life before that. So he has to break that habit and get done. And now he's breaking that, but even clicking is still, it kind of hurts. So I find solution for them. I give each one of them a different solution. You find out what are the problems and we look for solutions to help them. Some of those traders turn out to be very successful after time. So we are continuously getting new traders. A certain amount of them will struggle. We will deal with them and then they'll get success. right? The idea is to make everybody successful. Michael, you know, I left medicine completely. Absolutely, Michael. That's like 30 years ago. Do you trade in a laptop too, or you use one only for checking and managing? I have two Saxo accounts. When you open them on the same computer, for some reason, they go bizarre. So I am opening a second Saxo account on that laptop. Both of them have 1 million accounts. So I don't know why. I try to put both of them on the same computer. I have problems. So I just put them on separate computers. Rand going upside the trade. Let's say, okay, let's go look back at some trades. We are waiting in this pong. Let's see what else we're looking at. Silver is just going, let it go. We're looking at the euro is going to come back. No need to worry about that. Short term, somebody was saying go look at the euro Aus for a trade. Let's go look at euro Aus, see if we have a trade set up here. It's a 15-minute short-term trade, but we can take it, right? We can take this. If this goes, we will take the trade. So this might be the only thing we get today. Let's see. S&P 500. Let me see if there's anything there. You see now, trading is not that boring, right? When you're in a room like this with like-minded people, nothing. You don't have anything in S&P 500. This is an entry order my traders have been for a while. I told them to put it to break even right here. Sorry, I told them to put it to break even so that if this comes down back, it is likely going to come down back. Very likely. We're looking at the whole pattern, and there's a likelihood they make a deeper correction before they go, right? Because it's not moving very fast, so there's a likelihood they might start to correct. Then take the break even and wait for the correction to go, right? So if they make a deeper correction here, it's still going to go up. It's an upside, right? We're looking at an upside. Can you explain one strategy that you use? We use a lot of strategy. For me to tell you how to apply this strategy, I have to go and teach you the analysis first. Remember the 3 things we told you? Let me just repeat it very fast for those of you. Anybody here the first day in my room, in this live trading session? Just type a Y if you're here for the first day. Just type a Y. Only 2 people? Only 1 person? Wow. I thought all of you guys are going to bring a friend, right? So we should have half of the group as people who are here the first time. Hopefully all of you now, we have 300 people in this room. How many people on YouTube right now? I hope all of you can bring a friend tomorrow. Come on, you must want to help somebody. You can do charity work by helping somebody, bring them, right? So the 3 things you would have to look for. The number 1 thing you need to do first, 260 and 307. That's just 560. That's not a lot. We need to get 1,000 tomorrow or more. So all of you find a trading friend, bring him tomorrow. Find somebody, help somebody. So the first thing you need to do is your analysis, right? That's the first thing. If you can't get good analysis, you forget about everything else. So for me to teach you a strategy, the strategy have to be based on the analysis. So people who are selling strategies is putting you in trouble. Like wait for this 1 candle and then wait for 2 sideways here. And then if 1 goes like that, take the trade. That is your BS because you don't know what was happening before there. You don't know what's going to happen after that. So you have to have good analysis. You have to know what was in the past, what structure you're looking for, and where that structure is going to go. It has nothing to do with a few candles. A few candles, ignore them. It is more about what is the whole structure doing, right? So once you understand that, it becomes easier to trade, right? So basically, after you have the analysis, then you get a strategy to fit that. And the strategy means, how am I going to get into that trade? How will I manage the trade? You have to set down very strict rules for all of that. And when you have those rules, then that's how you take your trade, based on the rules. As you get very experienced, you will break your rules. I know that. You will break rules. You will lose some trades. You will come back to the rules again. But you will come back to the rules as an experienced person. I break a lot of the rules. I break them as a form of experimenting. Can I afford it? Yes, you can afford it. Especially if you have a winning account, you can afford to experiment a few times, see what's going to work, what's not going to work. Sometimes your experience want to take advantage over the strategy, right? I'm suffering for two trades yesterday and today because I broke the rules on trading the pound Swiss. Why? Because I broke the rules. I didn't have, by my strategy, I didn't have a setup to trade any of those 2 trades yesterday when I took the trades. But I'm hoping in my experience that I've seen this before and I know what they do. So yesterday I was right about it. I just didn't have the patience to wait it out, right? And I didn't want to take the risk of it going higher. Today, I'm playing with my patience now, and I'm playing with the risk of it going higher, but I'm okay. You see the way it's going? My experiences tell me that when they go like that, there's a very good chance you're going to get this before you go. So the worst case is I'll get a break even, right? So I'm playing with my experience and breaking the rules. You will do that. You're human, right? We're all human. You will do that. But you don't do that for every trade. You do that. You do that once in a while when you can afford to lose $2,000-3,000 there in this one trade. Then that's okay. For me, that's about, well, maximum 1% of my account, and then I'll just call it off, right? How many times you've blown your account becoming? I heard this a lot, the people who, and I think this is people like to say this because like, hey, I've blown up 20 accounts, I've blown up so much, I've learned my experience and now. No, I haven't. I did not go through that track of blowing up accounts to learn. I go through the track of learning before I start blowing up accounts, or if I'm going to blow any account. There's only one account that I totally blew. That was a $1,000 account, right? That I totally blew away, right? I traded 2 more small accounts after that successfully. And I traded one not so successful. The guy didn't have patience. He took it off when we were like 10% drawdown. And I traded a few that got collapsed. Like one guy I was trading for in Australia, and his broker went bankrupt. We were only 5% in profit, you know. But I blew up only one account there. And the reason is because I spent 2 years not trading, and 2 years I spent learning, right? I was literally day and night learning 12 hours a day for 2 good long years. And I had a $1,000 account that went through that whole 2 years. It eventually, that's the account I eventually blew up, but I wasn't keen on trading without knowing what I'm doing. I had to find out, I had to learn, I had to test what was working, test if it's gonna work. We did a lot of back testing. I had one guy with me who used to sit every day like he's going to work. He would come every day and we'll do that stuff. You have to put in that hard work. I didn't go through that path of just going to trade and blow up accounts and then come to here. I have experience. I've blown up 100 accounts. I see that a lot of webinars when I was learning. All these traders will repeat that like mantra. Hey, I've learned it the hard way. I spent 10 years blowing up account. Now I'm successful. And I'm like, well, you wasted a lot of your money for no reason. Why didn't you go get the knowledge and then start blowing up account if you don't know the trade? After you get the knowledge, you will probably don't blow up any of your account, right? That sounds like a stupid thing to do, but they keep saying it, and it sounds like a sales pitch or something. I don't know. I don't know why they say it, or maybe it's real what they do. I don't do that. Actually, the guy who taught me used to use this sales pitch mantra. I was trained by the big boys. I was trained by the bankers, and I was like, hey, cut it off. I'm not stupid. I know you were not trained by any banker. Bankers just don't go around trading traders. As a matter of fact, I have 2 bankers in my group who took my course, right? Who are working with banks and they're trading in banks. They don't go around trading random people to trade because that's not what they do, right? So I was like, when he keeps repeating it, I actually mentioned it once. You have to cut it off. You're insulting me, right? You're insulting my intelligence if you keep telling me stupid things, right? It's an insult to me. I'm in your group and I'm trying to learn from you. You're teaching support and resistance. I throw it away anyway. But he keeps saying that he was trained by the big boys. He was trained by the banker. And I was like, why? I already paid for your course. Stop telling me that thing, right? It's not true. It just wasn't true. Nobody, common sense tells you it's nonsense. So he's assuming that everybody in the group is stupid or something. I don't know. So when you hear those things in webinars, common sense will tell you that, those are crazy stuff. People say them all the time, but I don't know why. I have no idea why they say that. So we're still waiting on this. Let's see how it's going to go. It's just consolidating for a running flat, right? When you see patterns like this, like they did yesterday, right? They're consolidating. This one was an expanding flat. I think this would most likely become a running flat, something like that, and they'll go. You see them pretty often. So when you see patterns like that and you have to make a decision whether to get out of the trade or not, wait for it to pull back and then make that decision to get out of the trade. So if I have to get out of this trade, let's say I want to get out of this trade, I would wait for a next red candle to come, next pull back to the downside here, and then get out of the trade. Because then you get out at a better advantage rather than you get out at the top of it. I missed everything. If I was starting to trade right now, what would you recommend as capital? If you're starting to trade right now, I recommend you don't use any capital. I recommend you start at babypips.com. I'm actually advertising them here. You can go to babypips.com. They have a free educational school there. You can go through that. That will give you all the basic technical knowledge you need, the technical words and everything that you need to know if you want to become a trader. I will recommend you read elliottwave.com. I recommend you read 1 or 2 more books if you want to. Not necessary, but if you want to, you can read that. And I recommend you start practicing. Practice for a whole year. Watch all the free webinars you can watch and everything. Watch everything. Learn support and resistance. You will not use it, but you need to know it, right? I learned it, right? Learn about pin bars. You're not going to use it, but you need to know what it is. If you want to become a successful trader, you have to have general knowledge of trading, right? Learn everything you can learn out there. It's all free and it's all out there in the internet. And if after 1 year you decide, hey, I really want to be a trader, if you still have that wish and that desire to be a trader, and you think you can do it, then you have enough education to make a good choice as to whether you need to, whether you really need to go and buy a course, or you can do it on your own. 80 million. Oh wow! Whoops! 80 million they lost. Why don't you believe in Elliott wave analysis? It's not that I don't believe in Elliott wave analysis. You see, that's the kind of thing that's misinterpreted what I say. I said we don't use those rules they have, and we don't look at charts patterns the way they look at patterns. I think the work Elliott did is amazing. He did some really, really amazing work in what he did with his time and where he was drawing candlesticks by hands and not by a computer, right? We get automatic charts now, right? We don't draw them. He did amazing work, but there is so much more to it than what he did. And there's so much more is what we are adding to it. That's all, right? What that is great. That's great work. You study it and then you move on. You learn more, you add more to it. Probably, we're in a different time with computers and all of that. The patterns are slightly varied and all. We still call them the name Elliott gave them. We still say flat, we still say triangle, we still, there are only a few patterns that are so different from what he identified that we give names to. Where is that training partner of yours? He's actually working for a broker. He's doing webinars for a broker. I don't know if he trades personally, but he was more like my first student, not so much a trading partner, first like my first student. I would come and I would tell him what we were going to do tomorrow. I'll send him to start reading up stuff while I'm reading, and then we will go and practice, right? And we will have a lot of arguments. We couldn't, I think when we were learning for like 3 weeks, we couldn't decide what are the rules for trends. Literally, we couldn't figure out what the rules are for trends. No way we couldn't find that. Like, how do you know it's trending? How do you know you're in a correction? What are the rules? What you need to decide that this is a trending market, that is a correction market. From that time to now, I have changed some of those rules. But basically, we couldn't do that. For 3 weeks, we were arguing about it. We write everybody we could have write. We studied everything we can study. We bought 2 courses. He bought 1 course, small course for that is going to help him, $500, throw that away, nothing good. All of that stuff, right? You see, somebody is trying, don't put your personal details here, guys. We're not in a dating site, right? Triangles, the most rare pattern. Expanding triangles are the most rare patterns, I'd say. Contracting triangles, you find them pretty often. Oh no, go to sleep. Because I just explained about that. I don't use Elliott wave, and I'll start throwing out some people out of the room. I just spent half an hour explaining what I said about Elliott wave. You said you use Elliott wave. I don't say I use Elliott wave. I just explained that. Let's go. Let's move forward, guys. So this one we leave. Let's see what the euro is doing. We have to make a choice in the euro. So you follow my thoughts as I go. Euro, we don't do anything with euros, right? We leave euros. 1 second, guys. Let me just get this call. Okay, I missed it. They'll call back. Motive wave is useless in auto program. You can't auto program wave theory. You can't auto program these. It doesn't work. Can you look at steel? Okay, Sridhar, let's go look at what is the code for it, Sridhar? Jindal Steel, that's it. That's the one. Let me see. The first one. I assume there's something very good there, right? Yes, keep the silver. At least for now, keep the silver. This move will go bigger. This move has to go above the tops. Let's go. Let's look at the bigger picture first. And what is the weekly? It looks like this is mostly a correction here. The upside. There's a good chart. There's a good chance you're going to do that. Let's see. Let's go down to the daily and see what we have there now. Yeah, you can look for a buy setup. You're likely going to get a break for here for a buy setup. You can go down in the lower time frame and look for that. I don't think we will have a trade in that here. No, we're unlikely going to get it. You can get some short-term trades. They're actually going to go down more because on the lower time frame, you already can see the divergence here. So probably one or two more drop and then you go up. Could it be a running flat on the daily? I don't think so. I don't think so. We wouldn't discuss the patterns here very detailed. Let's do that in the Slack room. Can you check Euro New Zealand? Let's do that. Let's check Euro New Zealand. If we check all these charts, Euro New Zealand, we don't have anything. I can see it. We don't have anything. We're looking for a short trade in the Euro Oz. We're looking to buy Pong if it goes up. Be careful of these buys because silver is going up fast, but it's going to come down back. Remember, we're going to close that silver trade once it go up, right? So let's go back to the silver trade. Once this break, you see how it's going, right? It's working like magic. We were expecting this to come up here. You came in with the room when it was here, and I had that arrow there, right? So it's not like we're putting it now, right? You can see the magic. So we're expecting this to go higher. We want it to go much higher, at least at this level, to that top there, and then we're gonna look for the downside. I don't think the only thing you'd have to be careful of now is it might go into consolidation. It might go into consolidation, short-term consolidation, and then go. So if you don't want to live through the consolidation, wait for the consolidation to start and then exit. So on the 1 hour, you don't have anything, you don't have any reason to exit right now, right? When the consolidation starts, if you don't want to live through that, then you can exit the trade because, well, consolidation could be as big as this. See that one? They could be as small as this one here. See that? This one is only about 10 hours. This one is probably a whole day. So we don't know what kind of consolidation is there, but there will be a consolidation here, and then they'll come to this top, and then we'll be looking for tomorrow. We'll probably get the sell. If we're lucky, we'll get the sell tomorrow. Can that be a running flat? Yes, possible. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at a running flat. Something is on that. That's the Indian rupee. That doesn't have any good trade. Forget about it. We had that chart on and I deleted it. It's useless to trade. Coffee. I think sugar. Sugar is one that if you want, my traders were looking at it and we looked at it in the room and it's interesting. Oh, it broke already. Down. Anybody has that entry order in the sugar? My trader. We're definitely supposed to get an entry order on. Come on. Only one person traded. There was one person who asked me to do it. He was trading it. Okay. One of our traders actually trades this a lot, and he showed us the setup. I don't look at sugar. He showed us the setup. Right? You did it in the, oh, Dijon, you guys did it in the trading room. Okay, great. Good one, right? So this is going good. This is the trade my traders take. I have little to do with this. They themselves decide this. They showed me, and I said, yes, looks good. Oil. Oil, we don't have anything. Oil, we're looking for some more downside short term, and then we're looking for upside after that. Where is the oil? Let's see how it's working because that's our forecast this morning was more down. Yes, some more down. See, we have that, but then that is short term too. See, this might still come down some more. We wanted to come to about this level, and then we're going to look for the upside. See? Pretty easy, right? This thing is easy. I think a lot of you are watching and say, well, I could do that. A lot of traders tried that. One guy actually followed me for 3 years and he tried it, and then he gave up and he said, okay, I'm going to take the course. He took the course 2 weeks after. He was like, damn, why didn't I take the course 3 years ago? He actually wrote me, that's exactly what he wrote me. Damn, why didn't I take your course 3 years ago? Now I'm making money, right? Literally. Very experienced guy, by the way. So he was pretty sure he was going to get it. because he's so experienced. I think he had about like 10 years experience. He was absolutely sure he doesn't need a course. He's going to do it himself. After 3 years of following me, he's like, okay, I'll just pay you for the course. And he had the money. It's not like he didn't have the money, right? He just wanted, just for the fun, he didn't want to pay for it. Okay, let's go. Okay, you're him, but you don't have the money. Okay, you'll learn. You'll get it. Stick around longer enough, you might. He gave up after 3 years, maybe 5, 6 years, you'll get it. Could you spend some time on that chart in Chinese stock index? Okay, I don't think anybody else trade that here. Send me a Skype message. I'll do it for you and send it back to you. Right? Let's not waste the time here because everybody doesn't trade that. How many pairs do you watch at all? I watch any pair somebody asks me to do, I watch basically. But if like those pairs that is unique to you alone, send me a Skype message. I'll look at the pair. Send me the codes on TradingView because I might not find your chart if you don't have a code on TradingView. Send me these codes here on TradingView. I'll look at the chart and send it back to you. Please don't send me 1,000 codes. Right? Send me one. Because if they come too much, I'll just have to give it up. So let's go. We don't have any trade on this one. Wait, you don't have any setup there to trade. There is nothing there to trade. There are a lot of times when you will not get any single trade. You just have to relax. Like this morning, I had 2 or 3 trades and that's it. You don't have any more trades. Okay. Yen looks like we might get another trade in it to the upside. Let me see. If yen goes more to the upside, we'll buy it. There's a reason we'll buy the yen if it goes, because it makes a lot of contracting flat. We're not going to go into the details of what is contracting flat, but I'll tell you if yen goes, we want to buy it. This is too early. It's too small. It's early. I just want to see the internal structures. That's too early. Wait, because if this goes, it's not going to go far. Right? The internal structure tell me that if that goes, probably just going to go a little up and then they're going to go into correction. So we'll probably trade it tomorrow. I already took a piece out here. I don't want to get it. I can get in those small corrections. Let me explain this. I get in those small corrections when it's at the bottom. You don't get in those small corrections when it's at the top because you're risking too much. The risk to reward is no good. I'm not saying it's not going to go. I'm saying the risk to reward is no longer valid. Here, I take a trade here. This is my stop. If I get that, I'm okay. If I take a trade here, my stop still has to be here. Even if I don't put it on, that's where I have to exit. So how far is it going to go? Is it going to go this much? I don't think so. Basically, what I see, I don't think so. So maybe it's going to go, but I don't think so. So I don't take the trade. It's that easy, right? That's how you make the analysis when you're in trade. And you probably will keep learning if you watch them, right? Euro Oz, let's go look. Euro Oz, we will take that short trade because I think that one we're looking potentially for a lot of downside, and then we'll take it in 15 minutes. No, it's not ready as yet. It's not breaking anything. It needs to break out, and we have to see a setup that will break out. We don't have anything there. It's still going up, you see? And that doesn't mean this thing cannot go up, right? This thing could go up all the way here, come back here, and keep going. See? That's the part you can't see as yet if you don't take the course. Let's go. What else? Let me see. I'm looking at my charts. Okay, my traders. I want my traders only. Check your charts and tell me where you see any trade setup. Europong, they have a trade in Europong. Okay, let's go look at it. I don't think that if put the entry order, because if this is the complete running flat, if that is the complete running flat, the entry order is a good idea. That's the only way you could do it. If they tag you, calculate your risk, calculate your stop above here, because if they tag you here and they pull back and it's still a running flat, this is where you're going to be wrong about the running flat, right? So let's see the CAD yen is going up. Let's go see it. We want the buy. I just didn't like the way that buy was going up. Okay, well now they're getting volatile. Wait, I will still wait in it, like I said, because of this structure here, right? And the way this is going. So now they have to go high, because if I take a trade here, my stop has to go here. And I don't think this thing is going to go there. I would not even have a one-to-one risk to reward in it, right? So although I see it going up, for me to get a trade that is going to be good in this, I want it to go up. I want it to pull back here. And now if I get a trade like this, that's a good risk to reward trade. So it's not that the trade is not going to move. It's just that it's not a good trade in terms of risk to reward. Remember, there are a number of factors you're looking for before you take any trade. Not because it's going to go up, it's a good trade, right? Or it's going to go down, you can sell it as a good trade. You have to look at how far it's going to go. What's the risk to the reward? Is it worth it? And maybe it's going, but it's not worth the risk to reward. Then just let it go, right? Let the trade go. Watch it go. You can't chase everything, and you're not going to get everything. Take the ones you get and be happy about it, right? Especially the winning ones. So let's go. What else are you looking at? Okay, not much happening. Euro yen, if that corrects up tonight, tomorrow we'll get a trade on the euro yen. If this goes up as a correction and it's going up as a correction, I could see this climbing. I could see them come back here. I could see them do that. And then we would look for a trade tomorrow. That might take enough time to give us a trade tomorrow, right? Natural gas, let's see. So those of you who are interested in the course, you can wait on for the next 5 minutes, and I'll take 5 minutes after this and tell you about the course, and then I'll go. Natural gas, let me see what natural gas is doing. Somebody said natural gas. I think this morning we didn't have anything on natural gas, nothing. No, we don't, and you still don't have anything right now. If you got in from the bottom here in the break of that, you can keep it, but now you don't have any trade. You have to wait for a consolidation here before you go with it, right? Based on the way we trade. So USD CAD, nothing. Leave it alone. Swiss looks like it's making an attempt at the upside. Be careful with the Swiss trade because of where it is on the bigger structure, right? That doesn't mean you can't put an entry order and manage your risk in it. What else are you looking for? Upside trade. Pong, we can go with the Pong for an upside trade. But you have to be careful with the Pong to get out of it before they vote, right? Or the no confidence vote. So not because the vote is like thing, but volatility can comes in. They drop it, put it back, and all of that, and you will be in and out of the trade before you realize what's happening, right? Euro Oz buy? No, we're looking for a short-term Euro Oz sell. That's the trade we're looking at, short-term Euro Oz sell. Okay, guys, I don't see anything. So let's take a last look at the account and see what it's doing. It's positive so far, small positive, but don't worry with that because this trade is going good. The Swiss trade, I'll probably take that off on any pullback because it's not going good, right? It's about 1% already, which means any pullback to the downside, I'll close it for about 0.5% loss. And it's not moving very fast, so I'm not really worried. It's just going sideways. So that means I'll probably take a 0.5% loss on that, right? They're just going sideways here. I'm on the 50 minutes, and you can see they're literally going sideways. So it's going to pull back here, and I'll just close the trade somewhere here, right? If it drops, I'll stay with it. If they just pull back and turn, I'll close it. So the trade is entered here. It's not a big trade. I entered in this piece. You see that piece coming down there? I entered there, and it's here. So it needs to come back like this for me to be halfway. So any pullback into this level, I'll be about 50%, and I'll close it. That's it, right? It's easy. It's not that difficult. Manageable. Maybe if it drops tomorrow, we close it for profit. You're holding CAD from 136.50. That's where's 136.50 in the CAD? I don't normally look at the price. I look at the structure. So let me go get the CAD and look at the price. And then we'll take a 5 minutes and then we'll come back if you guys want. Let's see. So 130. What the hell? 136.50 is way. You're holding what? A seller or a buy? Wait a second. Let me see. Let me get that question. You're holding. Where is the question again? You're holding CAD from one that's still not even. You're holding a what? A buy? Or that has to be a buy, 136. You have a sell from, oh, you still haven't put it to break even. Okay, well, you don't have to worry if you're holding a sell from the top there. I don't think they're going back there. No need to worry about that. That's not going anywhere. Oh, okay. That could be your strategy. If you want to do that strategy, that could be it. Yeah, that's a strategy. We have a lot of strategies we can use. We're not discussing them here. So, okay, guys, here's what we're going to do. Let me take 3 minutes, tell you guys about the course because people send me messages all over. If you're interested in the course, what we do in the course, look, just give me 3 minutes, very fast. I showed you the group we have. We have a group where all my traders is. You come in when you join, you have access to everything we have in the group, including the recordings of the classes. That's your starting point. We have a course coming up in February, mid-February. So those of you who would be interested, all you have to do is one thing. You just have to send me a Skype message and all your answers, you will get all your answers. Just send me a Skype message to, let me just make that bigger. Not so big. Send me a Skype message to MANGAL457. Send me a Skype message to that Skype thing. Skype, if you don't have Skype, set it up. Don't send me an email and don't send me a Facebook because I don't see those so often. Skype you, if I'm at the computer, you get an instant answer. If I'm sleeping, when I get up, you get your answer, right? If I'm not at the computer, when I come back, you get your answer. So you get all the info you need about the group, about us, what we do, what the course structure is like, and how you're going to do it, right? Basically, that's all. Thank you for your time, for the 3 minutes you allow me to do that. Let's go on with what we're doing. More trade setup. Watch the pump. If it breaks, we'll take it. Just send me a Skype message and you'll get everything. Then you'll make your decision. Let's go with the pound dollar. We want to see the pound dollar. We might want to buy this Aussie to the upside. You know? I like the Aussie to the upside. See this? I like the Aussie to the upside. So if we get a flag, let me go back to the 1 hour. If we get a flag here tomorrow, we'll not get it today. If we get a flag tomorrow, we are buying. If you guys get a flag tonight, you might not get it. If they consolidate here tonight, we're buying Aussie tomorrow. Right? I like this structure for the upside. So we will buy it. It might come back down, but that's okay. If we get a buy, we'll take it. So the only thing that moved today is silver. Good for us. Right? That's good for us. How much the course costs? Send me a Skype message. You'll get all of that. You'll get everything. Right? Don't worry. Oh, in terms of stop, I just see your message, Ahmed. I think a few people asked me that why I don't put stop. Don't worry, don't trade like me. I tell you where the stop should be. You put your stops. Right? I know where I'm going to get out of that trade. I absolutely know how I'm managing each one of these trades to get out. I figure out what the structure is, what it's going to do. If I'm wrong, I take the 1 or 2% loss. Don't worry about that. It's only 1 or 2%. Right? If you love this week, join our group. You're going to be really, really amazed of how you get. So pretty much what the guys do in the group. And imagine it's running 24 hours. So you can actually go in anytime when people are there. Not that it's working that is very active 24 hours, but people are always in there. So if you want to share, somebody want to share, it's open for them to go in and start sharing. Right? XAG, XUR, XUSD, not moving, you are not also moving. So XAG equal to XAG Euro. I don't know what you mean by that. Euro USD, silver Euro not moving, Euro also not moving. So XAG will move if both XAG Euro and XAG USD, Euro and Euro USD. Also up. I'm lost already what you're trying to say. You have to restructure that question for me. Also upside movement. Please comment. Please take this view. Need your view on pair correlation. No, forget about pair correlation. I think what people call correlation is what they're looking at a single factor in the trade. So people said euro yen, pound yen may be correlated. They're not. If the yen is moving, then both will move only with the yen direction. If the pound is moving, they will move in the pound direction. That's not correlation actually, because if the pound and if the euro and the pound are moving both, you will not have correlation. They will go in opposite direction. So it's a very long argument of whether there is correlation or not. I don't look at it that way. Let's put it this way. I don't look at them that way with correlation. I look at each chart independently. Right? Each chart has its independent structure, because if euro is going up and pound is coming down, euro yen and pound yen will behave differently. Absolutely, right? It's just that common sense thing. Please enter real value. Will you find they're matched? No need. If you find them matching, it's okay. In every single chart, you will find matching parts. You know why you will find matching parts? Because every single chart has this structure. 1, 2, 3. So you take any chart and put it on top of each other. At some part, they are going to match. They will absolutely match at some part. You can take any random charts and put them at some part, they will match, because that's how they move. They move in waves. That's basic structure for all charts, right? What was your best trade? How much percent? If I can remember, it wasn't like one trade, it was like one day. But that was in a smaller account, and that was percentage-wise, I think, on that one day with about 4 trades, something like about 20-something% on a single day. It wasn't one trade, but it was, I can't remember single out one single trade that was good. It has to be silver. If I have to choose one of the trades where I make a lot of money and single percentage-wise, so it will be silver. It wouldn't be anything else. It was a news event, yeah. Michael, I think you were around that time on the euro. The euro and a few more euro pairs. Yep. Yeah, it was a non-farm payroll day. And we had some very nice entries, some very good trades, and they all went exactly the way we wanted them to go. What brought me into trading? That's a sad story. You really don't want to know that here now. That's a long, sad story. Let me don't go into that here today. Please remember, talk to. Okay, let's talk a little about time, and then we're going to go. So basically, let me just go through this. I think I spoke a little about time yesterday when we talk about the ATR. So let me just end this session very nice with an educational part for you guys. Here is what you need to know. You have 2 axes. 1, 2. This is the price axis. This is the time one. Most traders like to look at the price axis, and that's your biggest problem. Ignore this one. Look at this one. Study what's happening here. Study what's happening in the time axis, because what you need to learn is not the impulse. You need to learn the corrections. And if you learn this correct, which is the time axis, then you will get the next one, which is the price axis. So if you can identify with very, very good accuracy what this pattern is, how that behaves, what it is doing, where are the entry points in it, where are the exit points in it, you will do well. And a good example, since we're talking a lot about it, is this, right? This is a good example. So let's go to this in a 4-hour and show you what I'm talking about, how we can make money in that, because we can identify the structure. We saw this, we saw that, we saw this, we saw this, we are seeing this right now. And then we're going to see that. You remember what I'm saying? If you can identify what's happening in there, you can make money in that piece. And then when you get a trade like this, that is what gives you 60,000. When you get a trade like that, when you get a trade like this, that will what's going to give me another 60 to 100,000 on an account like mine, right? What we're doing here now, 3, 4, 5,000, is not the trade I'm going for. So why am I taking a buy within this? Because I don't know which one of these are going to take out. Not that I don't know which one. We have an idea what the structure is going to do. But just in case, if I'm wrong about this structure at any point, I want to be in the buy. I want to be in the buy. And if at some point this thing takes off, and I know it's going to take off based on the analysis we do, I want to be in it. If it doesn't take off, I'll take the 2,000 and I'll wait for the next trade again to buy again, right? It's very simple. Now, what we teach you in our course is how to understand what's happening here. We try to give you the best knowledge of what's happening there and how do you take advantage of what's happening there. This whole week, I'm showing you guys exactly that. What's happening in there and how to take advantage of what's happening in there. So you can, but you just, without the training, you're not going to learn much. You might grab a thing or two, but still that might mislead you to, right? Especially. Right? Yeah, I think I talked about that once on one of my interviews somewhere. What brought me to this? But it's a long, sad story, right? You probably don't want to listen to that before you go to sleep. So basically, that's the whole thing, right? You can see this, you can understand it, right? And then you can actually You know, you look at this whole thing going up here, come back here, you can exit. We made money yesterday up. We made money this one, I think was this one up. We're going to make money on this one up. We'll close it again, and then we'll watch if it comes back. I'm not interested in sell. Maybe for you guys, if I see a good sell stuff, I'll take it, and then we're going to make money up. But these little pieces we're taking here is not the trade. Let me just explain it to you. This is not the trade. What we're doing here today, not a single trade of mine has happened yet. So we made 1%, but not a single trade has gone as yet. All the trades we took were still in the consolidation. None of them has moved out to make the trade we're looking for. So you can take 100 trades like that every time, right? Maybe only 50% of them will turn out to be the trades you're looking for. 50% might just turn out to be what I call break-even trades, because you make attempts before it goes. What if this takes off today? Well, great, I'm in it. If it doesn't take off, and I don't think it's going to take off, we can close it for we can close it here for 3,000. See? I don't think it's going to take off. We can close it for 3,000. That's the whole point. That's a break-even trade. That's not the profit I'm looking for. The profit I'm looking for is the one that should show you on silver. You can look 20,000. Let's go. What is the, you go to account, and then you go to performance, and you should see silver, right? This is these are the trades we're taking here. They're showing you these trades we took. You have to look at the trades last year that brought the 60,000. One trade was 30,000, another trade spent something thousand. Those two trades actually is what give you, right? The rest of them are just small trades like these. These are small trades we're taking now, basically. So you need to look at the bigger trades. Those are the ones that will build your account. These are just going to give you fun, right? The bigger ones, when you catch one of those impulses, then your account will really start to grow, right? That's the one. You see, this is going to get 1% and it hasn't leave the consolidation. So if it leaves the consolidation, it gives you 4, 5, 6%. That's the trade that builds your account. So you're going to keep trading like that. You're going to make a lot of trials until you get it. If you understand how that structure works, you're going to do it. Most people do the opposite. They end up taking a loss in here. Let me just put it. They end up taking a loss here. They end up taking a loss here. They end up taking a loss somewhere here. And then they give up. Because they're going on the wrong sides of the trade all the time. See? That, I think a lot of you are saying, darn, that's me, right? You're always on the opposite side of the trade. Hi, Mark. Mark is our new student. He just took the course. I did not trade an account. The bank traded, the people at the bank traded for me. Let's not go into that, guys. Forget about that. That's an old story. Actually, it has a happy ending. So don't worry. I'm pretty good with what I am doing now, right? I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing. So if you believe in karma, I was supposed to be here. I call it a kick in the rear. It's a kick in the rear that brought me here, because I never would have been a trader if they didn't do that to me. I never, ever would have think of trading. Trading was the last thing in my mind. If I had to choose 1,000 things to do, trading will not be in that list, right? So what they did brought me to trading, and it has an happy ending. That is why I'm here helping you guys, because of what happened to me. I don't want, sometimes I get very passionate. People say, why are you so passionate against people using support and resistance and all of that? Because it's for that reason. I don't want you to fall trap. Why am I telling you don't go buy signals and don't fall trap to all these guys? It's because of the same reason. I went there and it hurt me really, really, really bad. You can't imagine having a business for 10 years, making all that money, and then somebody said, hey, your money is gone. Literally. I was pretty sure I didn't have to even work for the rest of my life. And they said, hey, sorry, it's all gone, right? And I'm like, what? How did that happen? That's what brought me to trading. How the hell did that happen? What's wrong with you guys? You're professionals, right? I figured out what happened with them. I knew what happened. They played me like a fiddle, right? They literally played me for my ignorance. And that is why I said you should never trade out of ignorance, and you should learn to trade. Don't repeat my mistake. Learn to trade. Get the education. We're talking about education. Mark is here. He's an academic person. He will tell you. He joined the group this time, the last course he took. Highly academic person. He will tell you. It's educated. It's education. We don't deal with crazy stuff, right? There's a lot more behind my learning that I'm not sharing here. Like in terms of what I know, my basic background and what I know, that all helps you. Knowledge is always useful. Any form of knowledge is useful. I said knowledge. I didn't say anything else. I said knowledge. You must have knowledge. Don't listen to people selling you a strategy and selling you some crap that they developed over a year or a robot or whatever. All of that does not work. You will just waste your money. You have to gain the knowledge of the structure, understand what's happening. That's when you learn something. I can recommend the course highly. No, Mark is new. I'm not saying he's recommend. I think he's pretty new. He just joined, so he can't. He doesn't need it. He is still in the learning stage. We have traders who are very, very successful and senior. They would tell you if you want. But basically, let me give you my view. I really don't even like people making decisions on somebody else's success. I really don't like it, but traders keep asking me every single day. Somebody, right? Can I talk to one of your trader about their success? Can they tell me their process? And that is why I said, guys, let's make that video and put it out there. Because for 3 years, I didn't do it. And I still don't like the idea because your success is individual. It's you. It's not what somebody else did. I didn't go and look for what people wrote about how their success. I wanted to get my success. The quest for knowledge is what brought me to that, right? That brought me to everything I've learned here. Is that quest for knowledge, quest for understanding. It has nothing to do with somebody else's success in Forex. I didn't give a damn about anybody else's success in Forex. I wanted to know what those guys screwed me, what they did so they screwed me so badly. So I was looking for knowledge. That's what brought me here. The quest to get that, to understand it, to figure out what happened. Why did that happen? So why couldn't these guys stop it? Right? That was what brought me. It wasn't like, okay, this guy wrote he's successful in Forex, he's trading this. That's not going to help you become successful. You have to get the knowledge, find your path. You will become the very successful, right? Literally, banks don't, it's not like the banks are sitting trying to make that wave. Believe me, if that thing is moving, the banks are making money there. If that thing is moving, you can't really catch it in there because they're literally making tons of money in that. Those movements are designed. They don't happen accidentally. They're designed to happen that way because of many, many, many factors. So, okay, guys, it was a great day. Swiss is going up a little more. The Swiss dollar might be a good trade. It's breaking out of the structure, so it might turn out to be a very good trade. If you're in, and you move your stop, you're good. If you didn't move your stop, try to get in. Wait, not now. Wait for a consolidation some more because it's now breaking out of this structure. So it will eventually consolidate tonight, and tomorrow we'll probably buy it. Right? It will be a good buy if it breaks out of the consolidation. Because if you jump in here now, that could be the point of reversal. So don't do that. Right? I want to thank all of you for coming. I know it's tiring to be here 2 hours. I want to really, really thank you for sitting through the 2 hours. It's a long time. It's really tough. I know that. All of you, I would like to see you again for the rest of the week, and I would like you to bring somebody along. Let's have fun. It's not going to be all we're going to take. I would try to get as much live trades in here, but the trades I take, you still see them, right? I still show you. I still explain. Tomorrow, we're going to discuss the trades I'm in today, what I did with them, what happened to them. So, you have an idea of how it works and what I do. And you can see I'm very relaxed. There is no nervousness in the group as hey, what is going on? Oh my God, look, it's running. I see people get that passionate. Just take your time. We're just enjoying it, right? This is fun. It's really good fun when you know what you're doing, right? So no need to rush on anything. Tomorrow we'll see the trades again, and I'll see all of you tomorrow. Take care. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye.